there a light in here?
Yes.
Here, just have a seat. Have a seat.
Sorry, what can I do for you?
Well, I'm here to investigate something, okay? So can you stay here?
Listen,
Hey,
you're in my house, listen, you're just talking to me, you're in my house, you're gonna do what I tell you to do.
I came in my house threatening me, get the fuck out. Good for you, Officer Martin, you're cool. Thank you. Peace, y'all.
It's dismissed.
No.
That is someone implying that only their reality is the reality.
No.
I'm just
Stop trying to steamroll me and let me speak.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're on a tangent right now.
I was speaking. That was my paragraph.
Right, because you're completely dismissing me and claiming.
Coming into my living room and you're telling me to stop talking.
Calm down, that's what I'm saying.
Renee, you don't give me orders about my emotional state or the tone of my voice. You are in my house now.
I'm asking you to calm down.
I'm asking you to go back upstairs.
Okay, well, you're not going to like what I'm going to do then.
What are you going to do?
Do what has to be.
In what way?
Center at Lincoln 1. Lincoln 2 has one in custody.
You are high, dude. I have a camera inside. Everything is on
Wait
camera.
a minute. Would you like to watch some security video before you were arrested?
No, I don't need to watch it. What the fuck is going on here?
No.
I didn't touch you, threaten you, I didn't.
Are we done?
We're going to take this to trial. I have video.
Do you want to get
And we're
an
going to press
emergency
charges
protection order?
against you. No.
Okay, all right.
No, this is bullshit.
Okay,
You
all right.
take problems and you just make them bigger. You don't help anybody.
All right, so the DA rejected the charges. As you can see, it says, we received your request for information. Our records indicate that the case referenced above was rejected and no charges have been filed. Janine Paccioni, District Attorney. MCD-CSS investigated and found all allegations of abuse to be unfounded, that is, inherently improbable. But then Michelle told an entirely different story about 2019 to the family court and obtained a DVRO using falsified evidence and perjury. She then used that order to take custody of our son and keep me under threat of arrest.
Are you still there, Officer Rodriguez?
I am.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for calling.
Yeah, absolutely, no problem. How can I help you today?
Well, I have a sort of ongoing situation with my ex-wife.
Okay.
But today the problem is that this weekend is my court-ordered custody time. And she refuses to bring him.
Okay.
But also, she refuses. She's ignoring my texts, and she refuses to let me so much as talk to him on the phone.
Okay.
And this has been going on for a while, and there's kind of a history of foul play on her part. So I would really like to, at least document what is happening here at the very least, and
yeah,
if possible, enforce the order and whatever else.
Yeah, so I completely understand where you're coming at. So what is the order? What's the order that you guys worked out from the courts? What are the visitation times?
Well, all the weekends are mine.
Okay.
From Friday, I think Friday 5:30 to Sunday 5:30. I think that's the technical bounds of my custody.
Okay.
It does say that she gets one weekend of the month, but we have already decided what weekend that is, and it's documented, and it is not this weekend.
Gotcha. So civilly, you guys decided that she is going to have one weekend, but it's not this weekend.
Right.
Okay,
right.
gotcha.
We've already decided which weekend it is, so there's really no ambiguity about that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sure.
Why don't I give you a call back in about 5-10 minutes? Would you be available for a phone call then?
Oh yeah, I'll be.
I'll have a little bit more details on what I have on your guys' case, and I'll give you a case number for that, and I'll ask you just a few more questions. All right?
Okay, I really appreciate you.
Yeah, no
Officer.
problem, David. So I'll call you back in like 5-10 minutes max, okay?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, appreciate it, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
Are you there, Officer Rodriguez?
Yep, I'm good. Tell me when you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready. Go ahead, please.
Sounds good. So I looked over everything just to make sure I had everything squared away, because I actually haven't had the time to look at, what this child custody and restraining order, what the guidelines are for it and all that. So it sounds like it's everything that we already talked about. It's a domestic violence restraining order, and it has terms of a child custody agreement between you guys. It's basically peaceful contact only in regards to child custody exchange. I guess I'm going to be very transparent about everything, right? So Michelle called about this last week about the texting, and and it's to her, in her mind's eye, it's looking that, like I said, for her, that you're going off the tangent or off the subject of the child custody agreement, and she's saying that you're saying all these things about her, and like that she's saying these things to your guys' son, and that she's that basically that you're going off of what the agreement on the custody was.
Okay, she's
right?
generally dishonest, but okay, if that's what she says.
Right, so that's what she called about last week. So I didn't unfortunately, it was on my Friday, and it was the hour before I got off, so I wasn't able to follow through with looking at the order and doing my follow-up. And actually, my next follow-up was actually to contact you.
Okay.
So it wasn't until I spoke with you just, about an hour, a while ago, that I realized who you were, and that's why I wanted to make sure I had my documents ready to speak with you about everything. So, as far as, enforcing the order and everything goes, I can try to, give her a phone call. Mm-hmm. I know she's not answering you, and there's a chance that she might not answer me, but I could always give that try. As far as enforcing the order goes, I can try to do it that way, but what you're doing right now, as far as, recording me, documenting everything that she's in violation of with this order, mm-hmm. And with this report that I'm giving you, I'm going to, like I said, everything's recorded. I'm taking her statements down. I'm taking your statements down, and I'm just going to kind of put it as an information report, just so you have some documentation, like you requested, that you have something to be able to go to the courthouse with. And, if you guys need to readjust your guys' custody order, and if you want to start looking towards other options, as far as either seeking full custody or seeking a complete no contact order, and have a third party help organize a child custody exchange between you guys, so you guys don't have to have any kind of contact with one another, that might be the best route for you guys. I'm not trying to violate anybody's court order or anything, because, based on what I have, it just sounds like there's a disagreement amongst, two adults on whether or not, your guys' son is to go with you this weekend, go with her this weekend, even though it's your right to have him this weekend. So if it's not... You really
think there's a difference? What did you say that again, please?
Say what again?
You said something like that this is just that like we're unclear about who's supposed to have him this weekend?
Well, I was just saying, it sounds like, she's not complying with the court order agreement, especially if you're supposed to have custody of him this weekend, right? So what I'm saying is, what you should do is, like you're doing right now, is I'll give you a case number for everything that's happening. You're documenting everything that's going on now that she's not following through with the order. Is I would, go to the courthouse with what you have and say, I want this, I want the terms readjusted on this order, because, she's not following through with it. And so you could, since you're mentioning this report, like I said, it's going to be an informational report, because I don't see any kind of, as of now, like she's saying that you're violating it. And now you're telling me that with the agreement that she's violating it. And so it's kind of just one of those things that, because it's a civil child custody exchange, it's hard for us to be able to jump in and say, we're gonna enforce this. We're gonna do this, because the last thing we want is to go to somebody's house and rip a child from them, right, and give them to somebody else, even though it's even though it's rightfully, your day to have your son. I completely understand that. So I'm going to try to reach out to her, though.
But just to be clear, just so I can be clear on what you're saying, the restraining order and the custody order are two different orders.
Yes.
So she's saying I'm violating the restraining order, and I'm saying she's violating the custody order.
Well, I think, so she's talking about, my bad if I didn't make that clear. So the part that she's saying that you're violating is the child custody part, because you're going, well, technically speaking, I guess now that I'm thinking about it out loud, I guess you can kind of consider that she thinks you're going outside of the child custody exchange and it's going into something else.
In terms of
so what I'm saying is I've looked at those messages, and I don't think that it's going outside of what your guys' order is at all. So that's why I'm making an information report about it. It's because it's a lot of gray area. It's why this is part of the civil part of everything about child custody exchange, and that's why I'm making documentation for you guys for it.
Hang tight. Hey.
So here's where we're going, okay? So.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi. So, under right here, okay, like we were reading earlier, right? So, if mother is scheduled to work on Mother's Weekend, which is that second weekend we're talking about, right? The father will allow mother to swap her weekend for one that she is not working. Mother will notify the father of the conflict at least 30 days in advance, right?
She didn't do that.
Okay. So here's a message thread between you guys, okay? It clearly states, at first, on October 9th, right here. Says, hello, I would like to have, this is to you from her. Hello, I would like to have Isaiah home on either November 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, or the 15th, 16th, 17th per court orders. I've given you two options to choose from. Please let me know.
Oh, you're making her case right now? That's what you're doing?
No, I'm just telling you what I'm reading.
Yeah. Okay. Did she give me 30 days notice?
What's that? From October 9th. So, and then at October the 14th, she says, I gave you 2 weekend options. Are you asking me to tell you which one you want? Okay, then I'll keep them November 16th, 17th as third weekend.
Yeah, well, I didn't. That wasn't what I was asking. Just because she said that doesn't mean that's what I was doing.
Right, but that's the options that she gave you per the court order, right? She gave you 30 days in advance.
No, she didn't.
Okay, that's what the text message or the.
Show me the 30 days. Show me the date. Do the math.
Right,
May I please have the order?
We're not responsible for the orders.
Yeah, you are. PC 166A4. It's a misdemeanor to willfully disobey a court order. Okay?
Okay.
Show me the 30 days. Show me that she gave me 30 days notice. We'll start there.
I just showed you.
No, you didn't. Quiet you.
Hey,
show me 30 days notice.
What you're not going to do
Quiet you. Show me 30 days notice, or you haven't made your point. I'm not listening to you.
Start with aggressive.
I'm not listening to you.
October the 14th.
My back is to you. You get aggressive.
October the 14th. Look.
Get away from my son. Get away from my son. Get away from my car. Get away from my car. Back away from my car.
October. Are you gonna...
Don't. He's the guy's got guns. That's my son. Move. Continue, please. Continue, please.
If we're gonna play this game, then there's no longer a reason for him to be here. All right, we're done here.
Did I confirm that I agreed to it? No, I did not.
Hey, back away.
I'm talking.
Get back in your car.
You back up.
We're done here.
I'm standing right here. You back up. I'm unarmed. You back up. My son is right there. You back up. Get out of here. Get out of here, you traitor. Move it. Move.
I just received a call from this number.
Yes. Is this David Orman?
Yes, speaking.
Hi, it's Officer Rodriguez from the Police Department. You're requesting another phone call?
Oh, actually, no. I was. I'm glad you called though. But it was your supervisor I was hoping to speak with. But I don't know what business we have at this point. But since I got you on the phone, I would like to remind you that the orders state that I had to confirm and agree to a visitation change, and you have absolutely no record of me confirming and agreeing to that change, and therefore she is in willful violation of a civil order, which is a misdemeanor, PC 166A4, and I'll be making that police report unless you want to treat this that way.
So, like I mentioned earlier, I am treating it as a police report that we're forwarding to the district attorney's office. But for our last conversation, I wasn't able to express that to you. But this report is going to the Monterey County District Attorney's office. and it's going to be
Well,
up to their determination on whether or not they want to
as I was explaining to you, sir, that I never confirmed and agreed. That's when you guys walked away. Also, your partner pretty much assaulted me, and I'm going to need his name.
Yeah, I can give you his name. Do you have anything to write this down?
I think I'll remember it. I'm also recording this call.
His last name is Pulido, Pulido.
Okay, thank you very much for that.
So, and that's why I'm for it, because you mentioned to me just now, right, that the order says I have to agree to it once she gives me the options, right? I saw
That's a required
thread, right? I saw the message thread, right? And you're right, it was not agreed upon, which is exactly why this is going into the DA's office for their review.
Okay, so I just want to make sure, because I've seen a lot of, let's just say, carefully worded and biased police reports. And so I hope this one will actually reflect the fact that you saw no record that I confirmed or agreed, and that the orders require that in order for a visitation change to be effective.
Right. I took I have your statement, I have her statement, and based on what the order's telling me, that's exactly why I'm going to be forwarding this to the DA's office. So everything can be reported exactly as it was.
I appreciate that. I feel like you and I are back on track with that, and I appreciate that.
Okay, Mr. Norman, is there anything else I can help you with?
Here is the public records request I made under the California Public Records Act. And I did this on December 11th, 2024, right after all that nonsense happened at the Marina PD. I wanted to get the video so I could verify that this was, in fact, a dangerous situation. And, so I could determine if it was safe to bring my family there or not. Obviously, the court doesn't care, and Marina PD doesn't care about my concerns, so they're going to need proof. I'm not sure if they'd care about that, but, we have to try. So what I'm requesting is the Marina PD police report. Okay, that's the number, that's the date. And that is correct. That is all correct. I'm the party who made the call for service, so that's more information they have to find this. The body cam footage from Officer Rodriguez and Pulido, so these two were together, from November 15th, 2024, associated with Police Report 1060. Specifically, the part showing my interaction with the officers, and also I'm asking for Marina City Hall PD parking lot security video footage from 11/15/2024, between 6:45 and 10:45. Now, it's very specific about what I'm looking for here. I shouldn't be able to get confused. Now, I sent it on December 11th. You could see A. Shepard at the City of Marina received this. And I said, hello, please find attached request for public records under CPRA. Please let me know if anything else is required to complete this request. Thank you. And the response was from Lizette Rocha at City of Marina. With all these people being informed of it, okay, including, let's get this name here, Maria Esparza. So then you come on down, and we have my response to Mrs. Rocha. I said, strange, does the DA maintain Marina's records? Please respond to my official CPRA request with an official acceptance or rejection of the request as outlined in your form. Thank you. 3 days later, all these people are informed. I said, hello, please formally respond to the CPRA request sent December 11th, 2024 as required by law. The requested security camera footage of my interaction with the officers would not be part of any ongoing investigation since it contains nothing related to the crime I reported. I have not been accused of any crime. I have not filed any complaint about the officers in the video. I need the video so that I can make a determination about the safety of my family. Please note that obstruction or failure to sufficiently respond to this request under CPRA is a violation of civil rights. Okay, so they're on notice now. All right, so they're on notice, and as you can see, on the 16th of December, she said it was received. Lizette Rocha said it was received. What did she say was received? Me telling her that obstruction or failure to sufficiently respond to this request under CPRA is a violation of civil rights. So she knows that. She received that, and here she is stating that. By December 24th, now I want you to notice I made the request on the 11th, and it's been 10 days already, and 10 days, that's the required response time for an official response. I don't believe I've received one. So I got this email, and it was like not in this thread at all. So I decided to put it back in the thread. So I said, "Good morning, Lane Long, city manager, and others." This is the city of Marina, California. I said, "Please route this message to Lane Long, city manager." 'Cause I didn't have his email. I note, and I'm not sure if Lane is a man's name, so forgive me if I'm wrong. I noticed that Mr. Long was not included in the previous email thread. As a matter of good faith, if you are attempting to delegate responsibility, it is essential to include the delegatee in the correspondence. Moving forward, I received the following encrypted letter from Lizette Rocha on December 23rd, 2024. The text of the letter is copied below for clarity. Ms. Rocha, please confirm that you indeed sent this letter. There's no need to route your response through an encrypted platform, as this communication contains no classified information and I have nothing to hide. However, with each violation of civil rights, the necessity of publishing this information increases. Letter from Lizette Rocha. Dear Mr. Norman, the City of Marina Police Department is in receipt of your California Public Records request. Dated December 11th. Specifically, you requested Marina PD police report, and all the stuff. Okay, we know it. Per Government Code, Section 7293.6, MPD is under no obligation to provide records related to complaints or investigations. Additionally, because you are not a victim involved in the alleged incident referenced in your PRA request, you are not entitled to certain of the information provided in any files related to such incident. Finally, the incident you referenced is not subject to Government Code 7293.625 because it did involve a critical incident as the term is defined in the referenced statute. Now, just a side note, a critical incident is an officer-involved shooting. Did it? Was there a shooting? I don't recall there being a shooting. So then it says here, pursuant to Government Code Section 7922, please note that to the extent the city denies any of your requests, Lane Long, city manager, is the individual responsible for such denial. Okay, and that's why I'm saying if you're going to blame this guy, put him in copy him on the thread. Lane Long. Now, please feel free to contact me if you have any questions or concerns regarding this matter. Kind regards, Lizette Rocha. Now, just because someone says kind regards doesn't mean they're not attacking your family. Okay, so here's the rest of my message. End quote. Please route this message to Lane Long, city manager. Dear Mr. Long and others, this letter responds to the City of Marina Police Department's correspondence denying my California Public Records request made on December 12, 2024. I wish to emphasize the following points. Number one, I am the victim in the police report I requested. My CPRA request is made solely to evaluate the safety of continuing custody exchanges at the Marina City Hall parking lot. This request pertains directly to the safety of my family, and the city's refusal to provide critical information is a violation of my civil rights. Overdue response. My request was submitted on December 12, 2024. The city had a statutory obligation under Government Code 7922.535 to respond within 10 calendar days. As of today, December 24, 2024, your response is both insufficient and untimely, violating my rights under the CPRA. 3. Improper citation of exemptions. The city's reliance on Government Code 7923.6 and 7923.625 is irrelevant to my request. The body cam footage and security video pertain to my interactions with officers and my presence in a public area. These records are neither investigatory nor exempt under the statutes cited. 4. Civil rights implications. The city's obstruction of access to these records prevents me from making an informed safety decision and violates my civil rights. This contravenes the transparency and accountability mandated by the CPRA. Applicability of Government Code Section 7923.6. The city's assertion that it is, quote, under no obligation to provide records related to complaints or investigations, end quote, is not applicable here. My request pertains to public records, body cam footage, and security video documenting my personal interactions with officers and my presence in a public location. These are not inherently investigatory or intelligence-related materials. To the extent the city claims these records fall under investigatory exemptions, it must provide a specific explanation of how disclosure would compromise an investigation. No such justification has been provided. Misapplication of Government Code Section 7923.625. The city claims the incident involved a critical incident under Section 7923.625 and is therefore not subject to disclosure. However, Section 7923.625 defines a critical incident as the discharge of a firearm at a person, or the use of force resulting in death or great bodily injury. These circumstances did not occur in this case. If the city believes otherwise, it must provide specific evidence supporting this assertion. Section 7923.625 does not categorically bar disclosure. but rather outlines specific timelines and conditions for delayed disclosure. The city has failed to substantiate any delay under any such conditions. But again, there was no discharge of firearm, etc., so this code section is irrelevant. Public safety and civil rights implications. The requested records are critical for me to evaluate the safety of using the Marina City Hall parking lot for custody exchanges. The city's refusal to provide these records obstructs my ability to make an informed decision to protect my family's safety. This is not only a failure to comply with the CPRA, but also a violation of my civil rights. Courts have consistently held that the CPRA's purpose is to promote transparency and accountability, especially when public safety is at stake. By obstructing access to this vital information, the city is failing to uphold its duty. The city is failing its duty to uphold these principles. The right to my own information. The body cam footage specifically involves my own interactions with officers Rodriguez and Polito. I have an unequivocal right to access records documenting my involvement under the CPRA and related statutes. The city's denial of this footage, absent a compelling and substantiated exemption, is unjustifiable. Action requested. Immediate production of the requested records without further delay. That was number 1. Number 2, a detailed explanation of how each denied record qualifies for the exemptions cited. 3, provision of redacted versions if legitimate privacy concerns do exist. 4, a copy of Marina PD's written policies regarding the use and retention of body-worn camera and security footage as they pertain to public records requests. Failure to comply promptly may necessitate legal action to enforce compliance and address the civil rights violations resulting from the city's actions. Thank you for your immediate attention to this matter. I look forward to your prompt response. Most sincerely, David Norman. All right, so this is the letter response I got from Randy Hopkins, Chief of Police of Marina PD. Okay, and I want you to notice the date here. It's January 14th. It was on January the 5th, 6th, and 7th that we had this issue about me not wanting to meet at the Marina PD because I felt like it was unsafe and they were withholding the video, which makes it even more unsafe. I did actually eventually go back there and completely followed the orders. On the day I was supposed to bring him back, our son, I brought him back, and I brought him to Marina PD, even though I didn't want to, and even though the Marina Police Department, like every officer they had available, came out there and surrounded me in a very menacing way while my son had to walk through all that. And now they're charging me with a crime, saying that I was supposed to bring him back on the 5th. Even though I made like a contingent offer to bring him back on the 5th if we didn't have to meet at Marina PD. But they're like, no, you don't have any right to say you don't meet at Marina PD. Therefore, your contingent offer just becomes, an offer. And you have an agreement, which is stupid. But anyways, all right, moving forward. Dear Mr. Norman, as requested by the California Government Section 7920, the City of Marina Police Department provides this response to the above referenced amended Public Records Act received on or about January 6th, 2025. That's not true. There was no amended Public Records Act. I mean, this guy's an idiot. Look, he's saying that the Public Records Act was amended. I think you mean the request, Randy. Okay, but you're lying about that too, so it doesn't matter. Moving forward. You requested information and copies of report number 1060 body cam and security footage related to November 15th, 2024. Your request referred to report number 1060. The correct case number is, and then he shows you this one. Now look, those are two totally different things, okay? Two totally different things. And the fact is, this is the number that was on the card that Officer Rodriguez gave me. It's a fact. I have the card, okay? Request for information. Incident report. Response. A copy of the incident report is available for release. The established fee for this report is $1. Yeah, sure it is, buddy, but what I'd have to do is go into Marina Police Department Records Division and ask for it. And that's when I'll know if you're telling the truth. And I don't think you are, Sparky. So, number 2, request for information, body cam and security video footage. Response. Upon review, it has been determined the release of the requested video footage is exempt from disclosure under Government Code 7923.6. Additionally, based on the facts presently known by the city, the public interest served by non-disclosure of the records outweighs the public interest served by disclosure of the records. The cameras are present to enhance security, deter crime, and record acts for criminal investigations. Disclosure of the footage from security cameras would reveal the exact location, coverage, and scope of the city's security video footage, significantly undermining their essential purpose. The city is unaware of facts that can counterbalance the substantial public interest in non-disclosure. So you see what he's saying? He's saying that if he were to tell me where his cameras are, then they wouldn't be able to keep that parking lot safe anymore. And keeping that parking lot safe is more important than me being able to see that footage to keep my family safe. That's what he just said. And then Chief Randy Hopkins of the Marina PD says, I'm the city official responsible for determining whether to deny the body cam and security video release pursuant to Government Code 7922.540. Bravo. Please do not hesitate to contact me if you have any questions or concerns. And, you know, I did actually reach out to him. Point one, I never amended my request. I never amended my request. That is just a lie, right? The CPRA requires an official response within 10 days, and they didn't do it. And it's obvious they didn't do it, so they're making up this amended request so they can pretend that they did respond within 10 days. They did not. Number two, he says I can have a copy of the incident report, right? And we talked about this already. Officer Rodriguez said he was forwarding it to the DA, so it's not just an incident report. It's a police report. So that's why I don't believe what you tell me when you say the incident report is available. I don't believe you, because it's not even an incident report. Okay, so maybe just kind of get your words straight and you'd be more believable. You'd also be more believable if you started telling the truth. Number three, Chief Hopkins' reasons for withholding the parking lot video are a ridiculous insult to the intelligence of anyone reading this letter. He says that while there is some public interest in a parent being able to make decisions about the safety of his children, the public interest in Marina PD hiding the scope of its security camera footage actually outweighs it. So I asked for the footage covering one small corner of the parking lot, and he's saying that if the people knew whether or not the Marina Police Department parking lot has a camera pointed at that corner, this knowledge would somehow do more damage to the public interest than if a parent were able to review the actions of one of their officers in the interest of public safety. So that's not a good faith argument, all right? Like, they're lying here, and if you believe it, you're an idiot, and if you support it, then you are also a tyrant. Number four, now that Michelle Begg is claiming my concerns about the security of my children indicate mental issues, I need this video even more so that I can show the court that my concerns are rational. I also have video of Michelle Begg telling Marina PD Officer Magana that she would sue him for my false arrest. This shows that Michelle knows the Marina PD does not deal peacefully or honestly with me, and yet she still demands I bring both my young sons to their parking lot at night, twice every weekend. I have begged for a different location, but they all seem to enjoy bullying us too much. Now, by February 5th, he sent the message on February 5th, but it had some weird letters, so he sent it again on February 6th. And he says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Norman. I noticed that my email last night contained unusual characters in the message. I'm not sure what caused that, but I wanted to ensure the corrected version was resent to you. Blah, blah, blah. Good evening, Mr. Norman. I appreciate you reaching out and sharing your thoughts. Based on your messages, I'm like to arrange a time to speak with you either over the phone or in person to discuss any concerns you may still have regarding our department. I'm always open to hearing from community members and welcome constructive conversations about how we can improve relationships and better serve Marina. Please let me know a time that works for you, and I would be happy to connect. Chief Randy Hopkins." This is number and everything. So I said, "Good morning, Chief Hopkins. I appreciate the invitation. We will definitely be in touch. Sincerely, David Norman." You know, I got a lot on my plate. And he says, "You're very welcome. That's fantastic news, and I look forward to connecting with you. Have a great weekend." Then on February 12th, I said, "Good evening, Chief Hopkins. Thank you for reaching out and expressing a willingness to have a productive conversation about my concerns. I sincerely appreciate the opportunity to address these issues directly with you, and I hope we can find a constructive path forward. As you know, my primary concern is the safety of my family, particularly during court-ordered custody exchanges. The November 15th, 2024 incident at the Marina PD parking lot was a pivotal moment that ultimately led to the loss of my visitation rights. My request for security footage from that night was denied on grounds that do not align with the public's right to access such records, and without that footage, I was unable to demonstrate the legitimacy of my concerns in family court. That denial contributed to a devastating outcome for both me and my sons, the loss of visitation. My older son and I have not seen my youngest son now for nearly a month, and we do not know when we will see him again. This causes undue emotional stress on my children. This is a horrible situation I do not wish on any family. I understand that law enforcement has its own operational considerations, but I also believe that transparency and fairness are essential to maintaining public trust. The history of interactions between myself and Marina PD has not always been positive, which is why I have repeatedly expressed concerns about the department as a safe exchange location. Rather than continuing down an adversarial path, I would much rather work with you to find a way to address these issues in a way that benefits all parties involved. One potential step forward could be a formal acknowledgement from Marina PD that my concerns about the safety of nighttime custody exchanges at the station are valid, given all the context, and that my statements about protecting my family were not indicative of aggression or instability, but rather reasonable concerns given the circumstances. Such a statement could go a long way in helping to correct the narrative that was unfairly used to tear my family apart. One thing I do is I run a nonprofit focused on community mediation. And as I interact with the community, I can tell you that I'm definitely not the only person with these concerns. Progress here would go a long way towards building a bridge between Marina PD and those members of the community that still do not feel their rights and safety are respected and protected. If you are open to discussing solutions, I am willing to meet at a time that works for you, or we can continue via email or phone. I am open to any reasonable options that might help repair the damage done and ensure that exchanges take place in a way that prioritizes the well-being of my children while maintaining a positive relationship with your department. Please let me know how you would like to proceed. I look forward to a productive and solution-focused discussion. So he knew very clearly that I was, because I was unable to get that video, I was unable to demonstrate the legitimacy of my concerns in family court, and this caused me to lose visitation. So he knows, he is aware of it, and not only that, but he never responds. There's no response to this. He never responds, and actually, instead, his department forwards charges to the district attorney's office, and so now that actually kept me from being able to get visitation back all year because I have criminal charges. So they're not going to give me visitation because I could just I might just end up in jail. Then what happens to my son? So they're not going to this action that Marina PD took against me blocked all hope of success in family court. And the thing is, I have a contempt motion showing that Michelle Baig has violated the court orders multiple times. Those are criminal acts. And I'm trying to get the family court to recognize her contempt of their own orders. And this move by Chief Randy Hopkins of the Marina PD effectively neutralized the last year of those efforts. I have seen my son for a total of 24 hours this year. Since they took visitation in January of 2025. 24 hours we've seen him. And she's denied all the court-ordered calls since May. Those are crimes. Every single one of those denials is an actual crime. So it's interesting that the Marina PD took this position in order to obstruct justice in the family court and also, on the criminal side of things. It's interesting that they're actually aiding and abetting her crimes while falsely charging me and falsely arresting me and assaulting me in the parking lot with my kids and things like that. What's up, Chief Randy? It's been almost a year since this email, and I think a response might be due. What do you think?
So here I am outside Marina PD, waiting to do a pickup at 5:30. As you can see, it's 6:20. Of course, 5:30 is the court-ordered time, but I'm the only one who has to follow the court's orders. And I want to just show you here. It's dark. After dark is typically not considered to be the most safe time. Nevertheless, they want me to meet here in the dark. There's also no bathrooms available here for the kids. And what's that? Oh, that's Marina PD. And, as they told me, they can't reveal the locations of their cameras, you see. Because if we knew the location of their cameras, you see, that would compromise their entire security operation, according to Chief Randy Hopkins. We can't know where their cameras are. So you better not be seeing this right now. Right here at the Marina PD. You better not be seeing that. Now, interestingly enough, here's another camera. I mean, it looks like a camera. I'm not saying it is a camera, but what's that? It's just that your cameras are so well hidden. And we're not supposed to know where these things are, okay? So, listen, let's be good citizens, and you just forget that you saw this. Forget that you saw that. And I'm not saying that it's a camera. I'm not saying that. I didn't say that. I don't know what cameras look like anymore. Oh, what is that? It looks kind of like a camera. I don't know, man. I mean, obviously, like, Marina PD wouldn't lie. So, I mean, I must be confused. Because that doesn't look like a hidden camera. That looks like a very obvious camera. And what is that? It's pointed over there at the corner of the parking lot where I was asking for the security footage. I mean, look, I'm just doing this, you know, for my own safety, because if there are cameras, I want to stay where they can see me. For my safety, for the safety of my family, but, you know, these people claim they're afraid of me, so I'm doing it, I guess, for your safety too, when you think about it. Look, Randy, if your cameras are so well hidden, how come they all have spinning blue lights on them? This is making your letter look kind of dishonest, man. I gotta tell you, I feel like you're lying to me. That's not a good feeling. I mean, honestly, I think you could use some cameras over here, because this is kind of sketchy part of the parking lot. I'm not doing custody exchanges over here.
So Chief Hopkins never emailed me back. The family court took visitation from us without proper notice or hearing or due process, etc. And that was based on Michelle's claims that I was just crazy and trying to start a fight with Marina PD. And then Marina PD charged me with 2 crimes, the details of which follow, and when I subpoenaed the security footage, Marina claimed to have destroyed that evidence sometime around February 2025. Which is interesting, because that is the same time frame in which those records were under California Public Records Act request, and Chief Randy Hopkins was on notice as to the legal significance of those records, both to my family's rights and to the misconduct of Marina PD's own officers. Okay, so after all that, this is where we end up. The Monterey County District Attorney is charging me with 2 crimes, which I'll show you. And basically what they're saying is that on the 5th of January 2025, they claim I did not bring our son back to the custody exchange because I refused to meet at Marina PD because I said, you know, we're not safe there. That's not really what happened. Actually, I wasn't supposed to bring him back until the 7th, per the orders. And I offered her the option of getting him back 2 days early on the 5th if she would meet me somewhere other than Marina PD. So that is a contingent offer, is what that is. It was contingent on her agreeing to meet somewhere other than Marina PD. Then I would bring him back 2 days before I was legally obligated to do so. But she refused to do that, to meet somewhere other than Marina PD, so we never actually reached that agreement. And that's just basic, that just requires a basic understanding of contract law and the language of agreements. And clearly, Officer Gabriel Rose does not understand that language, so he really should not be writing reports based on there being or not being agreements. He has to understand how those are made. But anyways, apparently the Monterey County District Attorney doesn't understand it either. So here we go. The District Attorney of Monterey County, California, hereby accuses the above-named defendant of the following criminal offenses occurring in the County of Monterey, State of California. Count 1, PC 166C1, violation of criminal protective order. DV, misdemeanor, as to David E. Norman. Here's the thing, there was no criminal protective order. So I don't know if this criminal complaint is even legally sufficient. There existed no criminal protective order. Okay? So I'm not even sure if this is valid. Anyways, moving forward. On or about January 5th, 2025, in the County of Monterey, the crime of violation of criminal protective order in violation of PC 166C1, a misdemeanor, was committed by David E. Norman, in that David Edward Norman did willfully, unlawfully, and knowingly violate a protective order and or stay away court order issued pursuant to Section 136.2, Section 1203.097A2, Section 1201.3, or Section, or Section 273.5J of the Penal Code, or following a conviction involving an elder or dependent as defined in Section 368 of the Penal Code, or an order described in 166C3 of the Penal Code. Well, which one is it? You've given me a lot of options there, and you never actually said. So basically what they're saying is that I violated an order that doesn't exist, and they're not even really sure what theory they're using. So on this June 10th, 2025, in the county of Monterey, I certify and declare under penalty of perjury that the foregoing is true and correct, and that's signed by the district attorney, Janine M. Paccioni. Actually, it says Robin Duffy, deputy district attorney. Okay, so this is weird right here. I don't know what this is about. Where's the DA's signature? It's not there. But what we do have is Robin Duffy's signature, deputy district attorney, and she apparently is swearing under penalty of perjury that the foregoing is true and correct. So we might have some perjury on our hands here because there was no criminal protective order for me to violate. It's not a criminal protective order. It was a civil order. So you might be in some trouble there, Robin. I'm going to try to not show you her information. See there, it says involved persons at the bottom. All right, we're not going to go below that. So anyways, check it out. There's 2 offenses here. You can see that Officer Gabriel Rose tried to have me charged with. The DA took this one. They said, okay, we'll charge him with this. But anyways, they said, yeah, there's some merit to this. There's not. And the DA should apologize to my family for what they've done here. But anyways, moving forward, we also have this one here, offense number 2. This is, Officer Rose tried to get me pinned for witness intimidation, attempt to prevent or dissuade a witness, which is just amazing that he would even try that. But obviously, the district attorney rejected that. They said, that's crap, Officer Rose. You walk that crap back. So they rejected this charge, but they accepted this charge. All right. I scrolled past her name, so you don't get to see that information. But look, here's Officer Gabriel Rose's information. And here's Christopher Johnson, his supervisor. So both of these guys are in on this, whatever you want to call it. As we move forward, you'll see. So here's what he says. So here's his summary narrative. An adult female reported a past tense violation of court order. Like not in the future, I guess. Genius. So anyways, narrative, synopsis. Michelle Baig reported her child's father, David Norman, had violated the child custody order, 2 NFL, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's not a protective order, is it? That's a custody order. But anyways, investigation. On 1/5/2024, at approximately 2024 hours, I was in a full Marina police uniform, and I was operating a marked patrol vehicle, 8123. Great, that's all. I'm sure that's relevant somehow, Gabriel. I was dispatched to contact Michelle Baig regarding a violation of a court order. I used my department-issued cell phone and contacted Michelle, provided me with the following statement summarized. She stated that the children's father has been violating the court order. She stated that on today's date, at approximately 20:30 hours, she was supposed to pick up her child at the agreed-upon drop-off location at 21 Hillcrest Avenue, Marina Police Department. So she stated that? He's saying that she stated that there was an order that she pick up her child at the agreed-upon drop-off location. Well, you're already lying, bro. Or if you're saying she said it, then you're saying she's lying. Because we didn't agree on this, and we didn't agree on this. Anyways, moving forward. The father, who was later identified as David Norman, did not show up and has been messaging her that he no longer wants to do the drop-off and pick-up location at the Marina Police Department because he does not trust law enforcement. Now, David wanted to do the drop-off at Blaze Pizza in Marina, to which she told him to have the drop-off and pick-up location at the Marina Police Department per the court order. She stated that he lived somewhere in San Jose but did not know the specific address. She stated that their shared son, who was identified as Isaiah Norman, was supposed to be picked up today per their modified agreement. This has an I in it. Officer Rose, you need some help. She stated that they are doing this as a holiday break to which they need to split the time evenly. What is it? She stated that they are doing this as a holiday break to which they need to split the time evenly. Okay. They agreed upon, through the court-ordered messaging app, to have the pickup and drop-off done today. She stated that she was worried about her child's safety because she did not know where he resided in San Jose and did not want him to abduct the child. I provided Baig with a report number and sent her our contact. I used my department-issued cell phone, attempted to contact Norman, who did not answer my call, and I left him a message. Baig emailed me a file of the messages for the agreed-upon pickup and drop-off dates, which was later attached to the Motorola Vault system. See messages for further information. Per the court order 21FL 000590 on Section 6A, all vacation time shall be taken during the time the parent has custody of Isaiah. If the week is insufficient and more time is needed, both parents shall agree in writing and make changes to the schedule as necessary. Okay, great. That's irrelevant to the situation, but thanks for sharing. During this time period of the court order with B Christmas break. All right, he's obviously having a hard time. During this time period of the court order with B Christmas break for B, the parents shall share the Christmas break equally. Every year, mother shall be responsible for the child during the first half of the break and father to be responsible for the child during the second half of the break. Listed in section 2C, okay, but this is relevant actually because the second half of the break ended on the 7th, and we also have that in writing elsewhere, not the 5th, right? Now, listed in section 2, in the court order, all exchanges, including during the school year and during summer, shall be at Marina Police Department at 5:30 p.m. The following is part of the conversation between Michelle and David, modifying the pickup date for vacation. Anyways, on 1/3/2025 at 1:04 p.m., Michelle Begg wrote, to David Norman, first viewed, blah, 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 subject, Jan and Feb schedule. And she says, that's what our court orders say, and next week we will be meeting on 1/7 at 5:30 at Marina PD. If you're not there and planning on keeping Isaiah, I will have no choice but to call the police. I'm not sure what else I can do. Okay, she says we're meeting 1/7. And then I respond to that, I said, must have been some confusion. I'll be bringing him back Sunday 1/5. I've given you the option to pick a new location. If you don't pick one, I will. You can threaten to call the police all you want. I will not expose my family to any more danger. And if you say you're sending gunmen to my location, I will leave that location because gunmen are not welcome at our custody exchanges. I do not bring gunmen, and neither may you. So when you're ready to do this peacefully and honestly, with respect for everyone's rights and safety, let me know. Okay, so she said it was 1/7, and I said, oh, well, I'm gonna bring him back on 1/5, but I'm not gonna be at Marina PD. So where do you want to meet? And she said, I'm working 1/5 Sunday. Unsure when you communicated that. I will not be there. So you can consent to Mike picking him up. I will not be off until 8 p.m. or we will have to meet Monday morning at Marina PD. So this should be pretty obvious. She's saying, no, she's not actually going to be there on Sunday. She wants to send her husband, Mike, to pick him up, and I'm not doing it. She knows I'm not doing it. So this is not an agreement. And she says she won't be off until 8. So maybe she's offering to do it after 8, but she's definitely given us the option of meeting Monday morning, all right? That's the 6th, not the 5th, okay? Now, then she says, I respond that you can send Mike to meet me at Blaze Pizza in Marina on Sunday. Okay, so I'm giving her the option. I'm saying, yeah, I will meet Mike, even though I had previously not agreed to do that. I said I will, but I'll meet him at Blaze Pizza, not Marina PD. See, still haven't agreed on that. It's contingent on not meeting at Marina PD. And she says that's not happening, and you know it, so she rejects that offer, right? And she says, unfortunately, we do not feel safe anywhere but the PD. And she's talking about her and Mike. Mike, 6'4", 6'4", personal trainer, bodybuilder, Mike Begg, who claims to be a legitimate Viking, does not feel safe anywhere but the PD. Anyways, and that's what our orders say. I'm not going to keep discussing this. Mike can be at the PD at 5:30, or you can meet me Monday morning at the PD. So she's giving me these options. See? We have not agreed on the 5th, have we, Gabriel? But he still thinks we have. And I say, wow, that's some impressive gaslighting. But actually, that is what is happening, and I know it. I have the audio recording of the most recent encounter. There's no other way to understand it besides a Marina PD officer attempting to start a fight with me 3 times while my son is in the car, after we waited 2 hours in the cold, dark parking lot of the Marina PD while you violated the visitation orders. No reasonable human being would consider that to be a safe location for me to return to. And I know the corrupt police and courts will join you. So that's why this is newsworthy and will be part of the forthcoming civil rights lawsuits. And they're just leaning right into it. And again, further proof that you know Marina PD is not safe for me is this video where you tell Marina PD Officer Magana you will sue him for my false arrest. I was mistaken. She actually says she'll have him criminally charged for the false arrest. Okay. And then I say, so do you think a department willing to falsely arrest someone is a safe department, that exact person to return to? Tell the truth. I even asked them for the video so I could verify the assault was as I perceived it, but Marina PD won't give it up. I sent a message to their chief asking for clarification 10 days ago and no response. Do you honestly think I should just show up like a lamb to the slaughter? You're thinking of somebody else, not this guy. I'm not going to be your victim anymore. And then she says, since you're refusing to bring him on Sunday, and I'm working, we're going to have to meet Monday morning. How does 8 a.m. or 11 a.m. sound? Again, Marina PD. So clearly we have not reached an agreement. She's acknowledging that I refused to bring him Sunday, right? And I did. I offered to bring him Sunday if we could meet somewhere other than Marina PD, but she said no. So we clearly don't have an agreement there, do we, Gabe? Moving forward, I'm not refusing to bring him on Sunday. Where did you get such an idea? Read the words. I am bringing him Sunday evening to Blaze Pizza in Marina. That's where we will be. Inside the well-lit location where there are witnesses, food, and bathrooms. Okay, so I'm just telling her that's where we're going to be. I don't control what she does, but I will be there eating pizza on Sunday with our son. And I said, if you refuse to pick him up, that's your own problem. I'm not returning to Marina PD. I've now told you and the chief of Marina Police this in no uncertain terms. None of you can force me to bring my family into harm's way. Oh, but they will. So Marina PD says that if you agree to another location, Blaze, then we could just do the exchange, no problem. Right? And let me see, this is on the 4th. Yeah, so I was already talking to their officers. I got those calls somewhere too. The Marina PD said that if you agree to another location, then we can just do the exchange, no problem. They said they'd be there if you called them. Okay, so I need to actually find this because Rose later on tries to say that, we had no right to change the location. But the Marina PD told me that we could. Now, they said they'd be there if you called them, whether I like it or not. I'd rather meet there in public with witnesses instead of the Marina PD lot, where you and their officers can attack me, and then you'll just hide the evidence, the body cam security footage reports, like they've done a few times already. I'm not asking you to respect the safety of my family, because I know you don't. I'm telling you this is the boundary I am drawing to protect my family, period. Not debating. Seaside Officer Moore told me you could modify the exchange orders however you wanted if you deem it necessary for the safety of your family. Well, guess what? I deem this necessary for the safety of my family. So are you going to pick him up at Blaze on Sunday or not? And I have this video too, just so you know. He did say that. So these interpretations of the law that I have are based in reliance on the statements of officers responsible for enforcing the law. She said, I do not agree to another location. Per my restraining order and our visitation orders, we meet at Marina PD. Since you were supposed to have Isaiah until Tuesday, again, you were supposed to have Isaiah until Tuesday. Do you see these words, Officer Rose? Since you were supposed to have Isaiah until Tuesday, not Sunday, I am scheduled to work tomorrow. You did not communicate the fact that you needed to bring him home on Sunday. I have already offered to have Mike meet you on Sunday at 5:30 at Marina PD. Your only other option for Sundays after I'm off work at 8:30 at Marina PD. If you're going to call PD and if you're going to call the PD and tell them you're not coming there, that's your choice, but you will be breaking court orders. Again, I urge you to stop making this so miserable, but it doesn't have to be. For our son, we have zero contact when we exchange. Okay, let's pause there. She says we have zero contact when we exchange, and it doesn't need to be difficult. If we have zero contact, then why did you tell the family court that you needed to have this DVRO renewed because you're afraid of what happens at the custody exchanges, which is, according to you, nothing? Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Anyway, she says we have zero contact when we exchange, and cops are ever involved. Well, this is a typo, but she's correct. Cops are ever involved. She says, let Isaiah come home in peace. So she's, a liar. This should really show you what you need to know. She's just using our son, as a weapon. So in this text, David and Michelle agreed to have Isaiah picked up on 1-5. So he's an idiot. He's an idiot because we don't, right? Nobody can point to an agreement there. This guy's just a moron. In this text, David and Michelle agreed to have Isaiah picked up on 1/5/2025, but do not agree on the location of the pickup. Now, it should be noted per the court order, the only modification allowed is the times and dates for the vacation and holiday time. I did not locate any specific text that allows a change of location. On 1/6/2025 at approximately 15:56 hours, I was in a full Marina Police uniform operating March Patrol Vehicle 812. Are you sure it's not 8123, Gabe? Are you sure? Because last time it was 8123, and now it's just 812. Anyways, I was dispatched to call David Norman regarding the investigation. I activated my audio body camera, which was later uploaded to the Motorola Vault system. Norman provided me with the following statement summarized. He stated on previous occasions he has been worried about his safety from the Marina Police officers and Marina Police Department. He stated on prior occasions he felt like he was assaulted by an officer. He stated that he did not feel safe doing a drop-off and pick-up for their shared child, Isaiah Norman, at the Marina Police Department. He refused to go to the Marina Police Department for the pickup and drop-off due to his and his family's safety. It should be noted that per the custody order, the pickup and drop-off location is the Marina Police Department. David stated that he was comfortable trying to find a neutral location in the public's eye to do the pickup and drop-off location. He stated that at no time is he withholding the child and has been making efforts to adjust the pickup and drop-off location with Michelle. David wanted to drop off the child at Blaze Pizza on 1/5/2025, but Michelle did not agree to that. On 1/6/2025, Isaiah was to be picked up in Morgan Hill as a more neutral location for him. As Morgan Hill was Michelle's idea and offered meat in a shopping center by Starbucks. She stated she would not call for a police standby and just wanted to pick up Isaiah, but Michelle did not end up showing up to do that pickup. David stated on 1/7/2025 he is willing to drop off the child at a neutral location in a more public view's eye. What, dude? What? A more public view's eye? Listen. I will teach the Marina PD to speak English. I'll do it for free. But anyways, as he says, I explained to him that I would get in contact with Michelle to see if she would agree to this. He stated that he was going to work and would try to answer his call if available. I then called Michelle, who provided me with the following statement summarized. She stated that this has been an ongoing issue with David, and she stated that on today's date, when they agreed to do the pickup and drop-off in Morgan Hill, David then changed his mind and stated that he made stipulations and wanted her to change her statements with me that she was making false statements. So this is where he gets the dissuading a witness thing, which is interesting that he doesn't give any other details, but you're going to hear all the truth of this in the recorded conversations that come next. And you'll see that he's actually lying in his report. But honestly, at this point, I'm off. I think he might just be stupid. It's quite possible. On 1/6, I said, well, you've been doing this to your son for several years, so how can I believe this statement? He has nightmares about it. Are you still threatening me with false charges of kidnapping? See? I'm going to need you to go ahead and call Officer Rose, explain that you misrepresented the situation, as you often do, that based on my legitimate safety concerns, you have agreed to an alternate meeting point. He can call me and explain that, based on your statement, see above, he is concluding his investigation with a determination that no wrongdoing has occurred. He can just leave me a voicemail as I will be busy getting ready. Once I hear the message, I will know that you are no longer threatening me with harm. This should be harm. This is not a debate. These are my terms. This is what I need in order to feel safe and to reasonably believe my family is safe. Then Officer Gabriel Rose of the Marina PD says, based on my training and experience as a police officer, I believed that last message that David sent to Michelle was influencing Michelle to recant her statements she made to me in violation of PC 136.1. Wow, so basically your training and experience as a police officer has benefited you nothing and has benefited the public nothing. Michelle ended up not picking up Isaiah due to the stipulations David was requiring her to do. And that is also not true. That's a lie. Because I relieved her of that term and told her just come pick him up. So he's lying right here. She provided the conversation to Officer Elisher in person, who gave it to me. See the scanned copy for full text conversations. Yeah, well, the DA already rejected your stupid theory. So she stated that she would agree to a neutral pickup and drop-off location with a civil standby somewhere in Monterey County. I then tried to call David back to see if he would select a neutral location in time for the drop-off. Between Michelle and David, I was able to mediate a pickup and drop-off at 133 General Stillwell Drive, that's Starbucks, in Marina at 0900 hours on 1/7/2025. Both parties agreed to it. And while he's trying to brag on his amazing mediation skills, the truth is that Michelle never actually agreed to it. I never received confirmation of that. So, you're lying. I actually worked that out the next morning. Dipshit. Anyways, it should be noted, Michelle messaged me when David was live streaming on Facebook at Blaze Pizza the night prior. He was making unusual claims that the Marina police officers were looking for him, and that while at Blaze Pizza, 5 Marina police officers showed up. They did. Check your records. It should be noted, at no time given yesterday, we had any knowledge of David being at Blaze Pizza at the time being. See the attached videos to the Motorola Vault system for further information. And that's interesting. So he's not denying that 5 Marina police officers, like 5 cars, showed up to my location. He's not denying it. He's just saying, oh, we didn't know you were there. Yeah, sure you didn't, buddy. Like, yeah, I'm sure you guys had better things to do. I mean, like, on the 7th when I brought him back, you had literally every officer on duty there to surround me. So, yeah, it is consistent with your pattern. Anyways, on 1/7/2025 at approximately 1955 hours, I was in a full Marina police uniform operating marked patrol vehicle 812. Probably 8123. I was dispatched to call David Norman. I used my department-issued cell phone and called Norman. Norman provided me with the following statement summarized. He stated he did not believe that he violated any court order. He wanted to review the message with me between him and Michelle. It should be noted, I spoke to David for approximately 1 hour while he went through messages starting on 1/3 and 1/7. All right, so for further information regarding the messages, see the attached files. David believed that he did not violate the order in any way. What did I believe? David believed that he did not violate the order in any way. He stated they were negotiating the terms of modifying the order but never agreed on anything. He then explained that he had Isaiah until 1/7/2025 per the order. David then stated that because him and Michelle agreed to have Isaiah picked up on 1/6/2025 in Morgan Hill, and she did not, she violated the order. David requested prosecution for the violation of the court order. I explained to him I would attach this to the original police report. At this point, David became argumentative and asked if I was stupid. This is when the conversation ended. Okay, well, that's not true. That's actually not how the conversation went down. But fortunately, I lawfully recorded that conversation, and it's coming up next. I recommend the case be forwarded to the Monterey County District Attorney's Office for evaluation for David Norman and Michelle Begg for violation of a court order. I also recommend this case be forwarded to the Monterey County District Attorney's Office for prosecution of David Norman for PC 136, dissuading a victim. Moving forward. Evidence, none. Audio, video evidence. Body camera, rose. Injuries, none. Fault, no, wait, no evidence. Anyways, moving forward. But my position is that it's impossible for this district attorney to have probable cause to charge. Why? Because they can't say I violated an order if they can't show us the order. And there is no order. All right? They're saying the order was that I bring him back on the 5th because we agreed to that. But we didn't, and they can't show where that agreement happened. So the agreement is the order they're talking about, and the agreement doesn't exist. You can't show probable cause to violate an order if you don't know the order that is being violated. And in this case, there is no order. They can't show it. So just from the get-go, the charges lack probable cause. And you can't just randomly accuse people of things without probable cause. I don't know if you heard of the Constitution or anything, Monterey County. But you should probably look into it.
Okay, Officer Rose, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. You ready, sir?
All right, let me adjust the audio. I can hear you. I'm driving. Okay, go ahead. How can I help you?
I just did you get my message from last night?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I said, did you get my message from last night?
I saw a voicemail and looked at the transcription earlier this morning, so
okay.
Yes.
So basically, I spoke to your child's mother yesterday, and apparently you guys had some sort of agreement to drop off the child yesterday, and something fell through, and I just kind of wanted your side of the story, and, you know, there's two sides to every story, so I wanted to give you the benefit of the doubt to say what was going on.
Okay, thank you. Well, could you help me out and let me know what I'm responding to? What is what's the allegation here?
That you guys agreed to have the child be dropped off yesterday at the police department, that you didn't want to drop it off at the police department, you wanted a secondary location, and she didn't want to agree to that per the court order, I guess the drop-off location's at the Marina Police Department, and something fell through, and so you decided to not drop them off and went back home? Something to that extent?
Okay, did she happen to share with you any more background than that? I don't know, maybe send you the actual messages or anything like that?
I got a couple messages. I got them pretty late last night, so I haven't been able to fully read through them yet. But she was mentioning that, you know, you wanted to, I think, do Blaze Pizza yesterday rather than the police department, but her side of the story was due to the court order and saying that the drop-off pickup location is Marina Police Department, she wanted to just follow that order.
Okay. Yeah, so, no, I never agreed to bring him to Marina PD. I have explicitly made that clear in messages going back to I don't even know how long. That's definite. So if she told you we agreed to that, that's not true. And you can clearly see that in the messages.
Well, I'm not saying that you guys agreed to that. She was saying that the court order is what it says.
I don't know about all that. But let's see, I just got off the phone with Sergeant Russo. Spoke with Sergeant Moreno on Saturday, and I've left a couple of messages for your chief as well. I'm not sure where the disconnected information is coming here, but I'll try to give you the relevant background here.
Okay.
In mid-November, I called asking Marina PD to document Michelle Bake's refusal to comply with the visitation orders. She had us drive down the 100 miles and then refused to pick him up. It was at night, it was dark, I had my other son with me, and we waited for several hours while Officer Rodriguez apparently went and talked to her. He came back all confused, like he forgot how to read or something, and was explaining to me that, she was actually complying with the orders. And, when I said no, that's not it, Officer Polito, who I had not seen yet before in this interaction, and he jumped in rather aggressively, charging at me 3 times, trying to claim that I was being aggressive. And it was really obvious what he was trying to do was he was just trying to come up with some kind of, reason to attack me, claim that I was being aggressive. Now, I turned my back to him, put my hands up in the air, did everything, to make sure that he knew that I was not attacking him, and that I would appreciate it if he would, shut up and let me continue my conversation with Officer Rodriguez. He didn't do that. He assaulted me, at least 3 times and then left. And again, my son was in the car. And then after they left, I got Officer Rodriguez on the phone, lawfully recorded that conversation. And Officer Rodriguez said to me in that conversation that, in fact, now he understood that Michelle had violated the visitation orders, and that he would be forwarding those charges to the district attorney. And then he gave me like a report number and all that stuff and said, yes, of course, no problem. You'll be able to get the report and blah, blah, blah. And you can just, take it to family court and show it to them and blah, 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 which of course is not true. That's not how family court works. That's not how evidence works. And he really shouldn't be giving, legal advice. But
we're not lawyers.
yeah, clearly. And so in any case, I made a California Public Records request mid-December to just like he told me I could, to obtain the police report. And I also asked for the body cam footage and the security camera footage of the parking lot there, because I wanted to make extra double sure that Officer Polito had in fact assaulted me 3 times, before I went and made my stand on that point. And I need that information in order to make a determination about whether or not the Marina PD parking lot is in fact a safe place for me to continue doing custody exchanges, or whether or not actually it's a place where crooked cops are going to ambush me in the middle of the night with my kids in the car. And that's obviously not a safe situation for anybody.
Okay.
I mean, I hope you could understand that would not feel like a safe situation to any reasonable person if this information is in fact true.
Okay.
Yeah,
I understand, I guess, your point.
Okay. So anyways, I told him very clearly that, as a matter of public safety, I needed to make the safety determination. They refused to give me any of this information. And so basically what I said was then, okay, well then, based on the audio recording that I have, it sounds pretty clear that Officer Polito was assaulting me. It sounds pretty clear that I would not be safe in that parking lot if I called the Marina PD to protect my own rights. And it seems pretty clear that the city of Marina and the Marina PD and, just pretty much everybody with their hands on this thing is lying and trying to hide the information. Now, why do you hide information if there's nothing to worry about? Obviously, that makes it look like, yeah, he probably did do something wrong and they're just trying to hide it. So any reasonable person at this point would know that the city of Marina / Marina PD is withholding that information that a parent would need to make a safety determination. And, without that information, all I have is my own experience plus the audio recording, which makes it pretty clear that he was trying to instigate a conflict in front of my children, and that wasn't going to go anywhere good. So I've communicated all this, to your chief, to multiple officers. I've communicated it to Michelle, and I've told her, under no circumstances am I going to meet at the Marina PD. You still with me?
Yeah, I'm still there. I'm just letting you have your whole side of it.
Well, I mean, the point in me saying this is for you to hear me and understand what I'm saying.
Absolutely. I hear you. Listen and still here.
Cool. Thank you. So anyways, I told her, no, I will not meet you. I will not come to the Marina Police Department of my own free will ever. And if she wants to, say that's the only place I can pick him up, fine, she'll force me to do it. But I don't have to walk into harm's way. I don't have to do that. I do not have to bring my family into harm's way.
Okay.
Nobody can order me to do that. I dare you to try it. So, moving forward, I told her, like, look, I'm not keeping your son. Just come pick him up at the Blaze Pizza. I'm here. It's well lit. The businesses are open. There's witnesses everywhere. It's a public location, not this dark parking lot where my enemies get to ambush me.
Okay.
And she just, she kept refusing to come get him. And then right about that time, I see 5 Marina PD squad cars casually pulling into the parking lot at my location. So as I have told your officers, and very clearly, if armed men show up to surround me when I'm with my kids, I will leave.
Okay.
So I left. And I notified Michelle, and I told her, I said, well, now Marina's not safe at all, because these guys are trying to, like, flex on me in a group of guys with guns, and I'm not putting up with that. So, nice try, guys, nice flex. But anyways, I'm not coming even back to your jurisdiction ever again because of that. So now, so basically, I said, look, come to any other public well-lit location, in Seaside, Monterey, Castroville, you pick it. I'm ready to drop off, our son, but I'm not coming to Marina for obvious reasons. And, if you have men with guns show up, I'm leaving. And these are all very reasonable, boundaries that a parent gets to set for the safety of their family. I dare anybody to challenge me on that. So, that is the reason. I mean, so basically, I drove down 100 miles to drop him off. She refused to come pick him up. I stuck around for several hours, asking for her to meet me at a safe public location. She refused to do that. I said, well, look, it's getting late. I got to go. So I did. I left. And I want to remind you also that, I'm still within my visitation time.
Yeah, she did mention that you guys agreed to basically due to the break of the school, you get one half, she gets the other half, and vice versa, and you guys kind of agreed to change it to this week rather than Tuesday. She was mentioning something like that, and I explained to her, as long as it's in writing and there's some sort of agreed upon change, that if the order says, everything needs to be in writing and there's agreed upon change, then, that's what that change is. Like if you guys are able to customize it, basically.
Yeah, exactly. But we never, I never agreed to meet at Marina PD. I said I'd bring him back Sunday night, and I said I would specifically not meet at Marina PD. And so I brought him all the way down. So I mean, it's not that's not like a full modification. She never agreed to meet anywhere other than at Marina PD, so we didn't really modify it. So according to the the orders as they are in writing, I have them until tomorrow. So I'm not in violation of any visitation order. So, for her to call you and tell you that, I'm kidnapping our son, that's a false report, and she knows it, and you know it too.
Well, she didn't say the word kidnapping or anything like that. She wasn't saying that, you were abducting the children or anything. To me directly. I can't say.
She said it to me. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, she never mentioned anything like that to me whatsoever. And,
no, really?
She had questions on it regarding, what classifies as, parental abduction or this or that. And we had those kind of conversations, but there was nothing accusatory.
That's the same thing as kidnapping.
Yeah, but she didn't accuse you of it. It was more of a question-based type of thing, if that makes sense.
Oh, she was probing to see if she could accuse me of it.
I guess, whatever you want to view it or kind of see it.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. I'll go with that.
Yeah. Where's the child right now? Is it with you or with mom or?
Well, no, he's with me because what happened today, and as you'll be able to see in the messages very clearly, I said, yeah, you got to come to San Jose to pick him up because I'm working. And I've already driven down 100 miles to bring him to you. I'm not just going to keep going back and forth. Come get him. He's here, ready for you. Any public safe location, come get him. So she said she'd meet me in Morgan Hill, at the Starbucks there, and I said, well, it's my understanding that you still falsely accused me of kidnapping. So I'd be an idiot to get on the highway right now. So I'm going to need you to I'm going to need you to call Officer Rose, explain to him that this is clearly not a kidnapping situation, explain to him that you've misrepresented, the situation as usual, and that I've been trying to drop our son off with you at a safe public location for the past 2 days. Yeah. And then once you say that to him, then he can conclude his investigation. Yeah. And I will know that I am no longer under this threat of being falsely accused of kidnapping while I'm on the road with my son.
Yeah. So I mean, as of right now, there's no active warrants out for your arrest. There's not an APB flyer for the children or an Amber Alert or anything to that extent that would classify any other law enforcement agency to be on the lookout for somebody that kidnapped the child. So you could, there's nothing like that out in the air right now whatsoever.
That's nice to know because, that's what she was threatening me with.
Well, people could say stuff all day long, but, we're the ones that are doing the main stuff. So I can ease that tension right now.
Thank you. And you could also, hopefully you could also understand how, being threatened with that would influence someone's behavior.
Yeah, I could see that. But basically, she's just, concerned about the child, right? At the end of the day, it's a mom that's worried about her child, just like your father worried about his child, right?
That's actually not what's happening. No, she's not. This is not about her concern for our child.
Well, that's what it was presented to me as.
Well, yeah, but you do know women lie to cops, right?
Everybody lies to the cops. I get lied to every day.
Okay, fair enough.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now with the whole scenario. I know she spoke to an officer earlier in the day. I start at 3 p.m. to 3 a.m., so I kind of just sort of got into work about an hour and a half ago. So I don't know what the extension of, her talking to any of the other officers or what happened earlier today. But, if you're not willing to drop off at the Marina Police Department, that is a violation of the order because a judge has said the pickup and drop-off location shall be at the Marina Police Department. Whether you guys agree upon a different location and want to handle that civilly between you two, that's up to you guys. You know what I mean? I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it's kind of coming down to right now is if there's a violation of the order on any party's side, whether it's the father, the mother, the guardian, whoever it may be in any scenario, that's kind of what we have to do. You know what I mean? We don't have the discretionary aspect of saying, you know what, this isn't a big deal, like you guys figure it out. If somebody wants them, if one party says, hey, they're violating the order and I'm seeking prosecution on this violation of the order, we can't just ignore them on that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so moving forward, I tried to drop him off today at the location. She said she was going to be there, and then she refused to actually show up.
Okay.
So I've still got our son, and she's refusing to pick him up anywhere but Marina PD, and I'm not coming to Marina PD. So what's the next step here?
I mean, at that point, then it's a violation of the order, and you're withholding the child from her if you're not willing to abide by that order. If you guys can agree to, do something else, and for her to take custody of the child per the agreement on you guys, that's up to you guys. But at the end of the day, if you're not willing to come to the court-ordered drop-off location, then that's where the issue arises.
It's your department that is the reason why I'm not coming there. So it would look really strange for your department to then forward charges to the district attorney for me not coming to a place where you guys are threatening me.
I'm just doing from what the court order is saying and what she's requesting we do with the court order, right? If the court order says to pick up drop-off locations in the Marina Police Department and you're not abiding by it, then she's asking for some type of repercussion being done, right? Now, if there was something that she was doing that violated the court order and there was something specific in writing, I would be hearing your side of the story, right? So unless you guys can come to some type of common agreement, right, of a pickup, drop-off, something to that extent, right? If you guys are both standing still in the sense of she wants the pickup, drop-off at the Marina Police Department and you're refusing to come to the Marina Police Department for the drop-off pickup, then that's where the issue arises. If she somehow agrees to do a pickup drop-off at some other location, a Starbucks or this or that, whatever that scenario may be, then, that's how you guys are going to come to a common agreement.
She's not going to do it.
Okay. Like I said before, you're not being charged with kidnapping right now. There's nothing like that going on. There's no, Amber Alert out for your child that you're withholding or child abduction or anything to that extent. I'm just asking so that we can solve a problem with me being involved there. Now, if you're more comfortable, I haven't really reached out to her today, and if you would like for a police standby and me personally be there at a different location, I can see if she's willing to agree to that, meaning somewhere in Marina's jurisdiction, whether that's Blaze Pizza, Starbucks, whatever it may be, and, just handle this situation.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I would be open to that, at an alternate location, civil standby with someone like yourself who seems to be on the up and up. However, as Michelle knows, I have to work. I'm on my way to work right now. If I don't go to work, I'm going to lose hundreds of dollars and probably lose my clients and then lose more thousands of dollars. So I have to work, and she knows that. She knows that there's no way that I can just pull out and go to Marina right now. She knows that. We already agreed to meet in Morgan Hill, and then she refused to come.
Gotcha. Okay. What about tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah, we could do that. You know, in the morning.
Okay.
I mean, but it's like I'm not necessarily consenting to that. I'm like submitting under duress, so you don't attack me.
Well, I have no intentions on attacking anybody unlawfully in any type of way whatsoever.
I know, I don't mean that. What I mean is that, like, Marina PD taking adverse actions against me.
Okay.
That hurt my interests and freedoms and parental rights.
I understand that. I'm just, like I said, I'm willing to work with both sides of the party, and if we can, as a group, come to a common agreement, I'm willing to help out in a way that, of me just being there, right? Now, with that, you know, I can make that recommendation request for you, but I can't force her to do anything, right? Like, I can't force you to do anything right now.
I know.
Understand that what I recommend for anybody is if this is going to be becoming, you know, type of an ongoing issue at the end of the day, I recommend that you guys need to go to family court and see if there's any type of modifications you guys can make for that.
Well, we're going to have to go to the family court, but you know, we don't make the modification in family court. If we were going to make a modification, we could do it on our own in writing.
Yeah.
That's what the orders say.
I guess I didn't mean you. I mean, you guys present that argument to the court.
Yeah.
It's the better verbiage.
Yeah. But in order to do that, I have to be able to show some proof of the legitimacy of my safety concerns, and Marina PD is withholding that video.
Now, if she requests a civil standby by San Jose Police, are you going to have any type of issue with that?
Yeah, I'm really not comfortable with armed men being at my custody exchanges because that's not necessary. I don't bring guns, and it doesn't make sense for Michelle to bring guns either. However, you know, if they just stay back, you know, they're not so close that they could just tackle me or shoot me or something. If they stay, you know, few tens of yards away on the other side of the parking lot and just observe, you know, I can't stop them from doing that. It's sure, it's menacing, it's threatening, but you know,
I guess
whatever.
my point of view is you're not just going to throw the kid in the car and drive away, right? Like if that scenario plays out. I'm just talking complete hypotheticals right now. I haven't even talked to her.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. The reason I drove away from Blaze Pizza is because 5 of your squad cars pulled up, and I knew what that was about.
I can tell you because I was working last night. She called us at, you know, pretty late in the afternoon or late at night. We had no knowledge of you being at Blaze or anything like that until, you know, today, or I guess late last night.
Well, I kind of put some things out on the internet that you would have access to, so you guys totally could know I was there, and I think that's what happened.
Okay. Well, I mean, I
think somebody
said,
it's just gang behavior, you know. Somebody just said, let's roll up on this guy and show him who's boss.
Okay. Well, let me do a solid. Let me try to get a hold of Michelle, and let me try to figure some stuff out, and kind of go from there. Okay? And I'll give you a call back if you're comfortable with that.
Okay. I may not be able to answer, but because of I'll be working, but like, please leave me a message.
Yeah, of course. So,
okay. Thank you, Officer Rose. I appreciate your.
Yeah, not a problem, man. If anything changes or, you know, you have any other questions, you can reach out to me. All right?
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, should be good. Are you there, Officer Rose?
Yes, sir.
So, how's it going? What's up? What's new?
Good. Nothing so much. I mean, after our conversation earlier today, I reached out to Michelle and spoke to her regarding, you know, a little give and take on both ends of the side, you know, from your end and her end. So after talking to her, you know, she just kind of sort of agreed that she was willing to kind of meet halfway in the sense that for the pickup, not being at the Marina Police Department.
Okay.
But her whole thing is she kind of wants to stay in like Monterey County. So I guess me reaching out, I'm kind of just being the mediator right now and being kind of going back and forth between you two just so that we can kind of solve a problem as a team, you know. And she was wondering, so what's the drop-off pickup time supposed to be tomorrow?
I don't even know. I don't know if we ever even agreed on it.
Okay, because she was mentioning something in the afternoon, like 5 o'clock, and then I know you talked about you're kind of good all day tomorrow in the morning, so I didn't know if there was a better time or a worse time or, you know, what.
Yeah. Well, I have to work tomorrow, you know, all the way up in San Ramon at 2 o'clock. So if I got to go all the way down to Monterey County and get back, then I think I need to do that in the morning.
Perfect. And she has no problem with that either because I mentioned, you know, again, this is some give and take on both ends of stuff. So we're trying to get everybody to agree upon the same thing right now. So are you thinking the morning, you know, 8 or 9 is kind of better for you?
Yeah, whatever's gonna, reach an agreement that is actually, physically possible in space and time, I'll do it.
So kind of what she was thinking, and I kind of agree with her, and it meets both ends of the spectrum, right? Like Starbucks in Marina over by where like Blaze Pizza is in the shopping center over there.
Yeah.
Open all the time, it opens at 5:30 in the morning, doesn't close until, like 10 at night. So there's always people, foot traffic in and out of Starbucks all day long. So tomorrow, 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock work for you, or how does that sound?
Yeah, I can do it.
Okay. So I just want to kind of lock in a time just so that neither party's waiting around or miscommunication. Does 8 o'clock tomorrow at Starbucks sound good?
Can we say 9 just, because I got to drive like 100 miles?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. That's totally fine.
Okay. Thank you.
And then, so 9 o'clock, Starbucks over at the Dune Shopping Center by Blaze tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Yeah, and can you promise me that 5 Marina PD cars aren't going to roll up on me?
I can't make any promises because I will pass it on to the sergeant of the day of what's going on and everything. I made him aware earlier. I work a swing shift schedule, so I work 3 to 3 in the afternoon to 3 in the morning. So I wouldn't be on duty. If she calls for, a civil standby or something, how we do operate business with civil standbys is we don't get involved in people's businesses. We don't really interject. We let you guys do your thing, and we kind of just back off. I will let the supervisor to pass on the message that if she ends up calling for a civil standby or something like that, to kind of just give some space, just because we're there doesn't make us a part of this. We're just making sure nobody gets hurt, injured, kids safe, stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's our primary. But I can tell you tomorrow, I don't even think there's 5 officers on duty tomorrow. So you get what I'm saying? So
thanks for telling me that. All right. Yeah.
I think we only got 3 in the sergeant in the morning. So
I'll try not to keep them too busy then.
Yeah, exactly. So at most, it might be 1 or 2, and or probably 1 in a sergeant or something like that.
All right. My concern is I just don't want my son, seeing this sort of militarized presence. We, as law enforcement officers, we do not need to be getting involved in your personal business, whether, you agree with the law enforcement side or not. That's beside the point. I think for, a safe, happy family, we're here to protect people, and if, we're going to be causing fear for a child or something like that, it's not really our business to be doing that, again. But if somebody calls or something like that, we can't just ignore them. I get it.
So that's kind of the give and take side of things. Does that sound like a fair plan?
It's no, but I'll do it anyway, just so we could get this done.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you cooperating with me, man. I know whatever has been going on sucks for you. I understand that side of it. So, I appreciate you being respectful and kind to me. So, again, just thank you for you giving some of the take on this aspect of it.
No problem. I appreciate you helping us out. So is this, are you going to communicate with her? Do I need to?
You know what? Just to keep it clean for you on your end of things, I will communicate with her. And if you want to shoot her a text on the texting app or, whatever that communication app is, just so all of your ends are safe and be, you can send a message saying, hey, I spoke to Officer Rose. We're going to be meeting at, Starbucks in Marina at 9 in the morning, just so there's a for sure confirmation so she can't go on the back end saying, well, I never talked to anybody. I don't know what you're talking or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, it could happen. Yeah. Okay.
You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying she's like that, but people have deceived in the past, and I don't want you to fall victim of anything.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, that'd be good. Because, technically we have to have a writing that goes between us in order to modify that order.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we would need to.
And that texting app gets that writings portion of it cleared.
Okay. So as far as, the whole case number or whatever, do we have anything outstanding? Are you still investigating a kidnapping
I'm not investigating anything. At the end of the day, whether you agree with the order, your safety, your aspect of things, that's for you to present, right? You're innocent until proven guilty. And so my aspect of it is somebody's presenting something to me. I'm just sending it to the district attorney's office for them to review it and read it. And if they think there's something there, they might reach out to you to get either some further up questions or they might have a hearing. Who knows? But at this time, you're not guilty of anything. But the violation of the court order is being sent to the district attorney's office for them to review it.
All right. Well, that'll be interesting to see what they think of it.
Yeah, exactly. It's for them to interpret and, that aspect of it. But at this time, I'm not here to, put handcuffs on you or anything like that.
Okay, I appreciate that. Now, I'm sure she's saying that, I'm violating the restraining order just by, communicating with her at all.
No, she never even mentioned that whatsoever, to be honest. And, she hasn't said anything like that. Like I said, the only thing that was the hang-up is the pickup drop-off not being at the Marina Police Department. And I said, you know what, he's not trying to withhold the child. He just doesn't feel comfortable there right now. I said the same thing to her that I'm saying to you is you guys got to figure it out. You know what I mean? That's just kind of all it is.
I mean, it's kind of hard when, you're the only one rowing towards peace, but I hear you.
Hey, I can only preach to the choir, right? So,
Yeah.
So, I appreciate, like I said, I just appreciate you being cool with me on this and doing your end of it of, being honest and open of what your concerns are.
Okay, well, I appreciate you, helping us out and, just being straightforward about everything with me, listening to me and, not dismissing my concerns. So, that's rare and I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I try to take my job serious when it comes to interacting with every individual. So, if anything changes, just please communicate. Please hold your end of the bargain. Please show up there at 9, all that good stuff. And I'm going to tell her the exact same thing as I'm telling you. So.
Okay, well, you put it in your report that I was cooperative and drove another 100. I've driven like 300 miles to make this happen.
Yeah, in my report, I've already typed about half of it. I've already brought up, your concerns about safety and this aspect of it. I'm just going to add in this little tidbit that you guys are agreeing upon this same kind of cohesive drop-off pickup for this one time being, and that, this is where we're at right now.
Okay, I think that's as good as it gets.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. We figured out a game plan. Everybody might not agree 100% with it, but if we can get 50-50, let's move forward with it.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I'm just trying to drop off my son and stay out of jail.
All right, brother. Well, let me reach out to her so it doesn't get any too late, and she can actually get the game planned as well. And good luck to you tomorrow. All right, man.
Okay, thanks again, Officer Rose. I hope you have a good rest of your night.
All right, brother. You too. You take it easy. Be safe. Okay.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
And this is what happened the next morning. Okay, so here I am dropping off my son on the 7th of January 2025 at the Marina Police Department. I have expressed concern for the safety of this location because their officers have behaved aggressively towards me in the presence of my children and then refused to share the video of such events so that I could determine if this is a safe location for exchanges. Clearly it is not. Here they are again, acting disrespectfully and aggressively during a simple custody exchange. So as soon as we got there, they surrounded us, apparently every officer on duty that they had, and this guy seems to have a gun in his pocket.
Who are these guys? Everything okay, guys? How are you? Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to escort my son over here. Thank you. I don't know who these guys are. They got guns, so I will be escorting my son. Well, that makes me feel worse. Thank you. Yeah, okay. I think we're done talking.
Okay, bye.
Everybody okay?
Are you?
I'm fine. Are you guys okay? Did you come here to intimidate me?
I thought we were done talking.
Well, now you're talking again. I was talking to these guys, man. Come on. That's rude. I'm having a conversation.
So imagine how my son felt. He didn't even get to say goodbye to his dad because the police were busy being disrespectful and aggressive. So what message does this send to a child? Marina PD participating in parental alienation.
Okay, I think that worked. Are you there, Officer Rose?
Yep.
Good news. We did the exchange this morning at Marina PD.
Yeah, I heard about that. I talked to Sergeant Johnson earlier.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, what did he tell you? I'm not sure if he understood what I was saying to him.
No, he just told me, because I asked him, hey, did everything go, according to plan? And he was like, actually, they ended up just doing it at the Marina PD, like the order states. And I said, oh, okay. And that's kind of where it ended.
Okay, so that's good news, right? Because there's nothing to charge now, right?
Well, like I said before, because there was some sort of written agreement between the messaging app that the pickup was going to be on, I believe it was Sunday.
But did you see that agreement? Did you see it?
In the messages?
Yeah.
I saw something that you guys agreed upon changing the day and from Tuesday to, was it Sunday? I'm looking at a calendar right now.
No, I mean, that's the thing is we never reached that agreement, so, like, I'm just curious where you saw that.
I'm trying to find it right now. Sorry, I don't have it right in front of me.
That's fine. What I'll do is I'll put you on speakerphone and I'll bring up the message thread myself.
Yeah, if you have it in front of you, it might be quicker than me reading through all of them.
Yeah, I can do that. And in fact, I could probably send it to you. It would make sense to have the evidence as part of the investigation, I assume.
Yeah, I have some of the messages between you and Michelle.
Okay, well, that's having some of them is going to be a problem because without having all of them, you really can't tell what the agreements are or not.
Well, yes, but, I'm not going to have, days and days and days and days worth of conversation between you two. You know what I mean? Just the ones that are relevant.
Yeah, I'm saying they're all, there's a certain amount of messages that's legally relevant, and you're going to want to have those, right?
I assume so, right?
Yeah, you would definitely want all the relevant evidence.
Yep.
Okay, so let's see here. The whole thread is identified as January and February schedule.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure everything relevant is in that thread. Okay. What day is it now? It's like January the
7th is today?
7th. Okay, yeah, this goes back to the 3rd. But,
Yeah,
it's not.
That's where I'm looking at right now is the 3rd.
Okay, yeah, it's not. It's not like we were talking 24/7, so it's not.
Yeah,
it's not 4 days of messages. So I'll just start here. She says, unsure if the January weekend schedule was communicated or lost in messages. I'll be keeping Isaiah the second weekend of this month, blah, blah, blah. As for February, I can also keep him the second weekend of the month. And then she, says February 7, 8, 9. Will you be in the country still in March during his spring break? All right, that didn't seem too important. Let me go actually to the end of the thread and just work back. Okay, so, yeah, she says that, since we're on the subject, I say, no, I'll only be leaving the country, as I have stated clearly, to avoid your ongoing abuse and threats. If you're going to stop the abuse and restore every right you've taken by fraud, then I won't need to leave the country. Anyways, then she says, I'm not changing any orders apart from asking the court to allow Mike to pick up Isaiah on Sundays. As I've told you, this is not relevant. But we have not made any agreements. She says, if you're not, and then I say, if you're not going to stop the abuse and restore what you stolen, we have nothing to discuss. So I'm kind of ending that conversation. She says, okay, sounds good, blah, blah, blah. I communicated my weekends, and I'd like to know if you'll be there here in March so I can plan my schedule. That's all. Hope Isaiah's happy. And I say, then I will not be meeting you at Marina PD on Sunday. Based on the records I have, so that's pretty clear, right? That's definitely not an agreement to meet at the Marina PD on Sunday.
Let me figure out what I have right now. I'm pulling it up. It's trying to...
Okay, I'm still on January 3rd, and we're just reached the relevant stuff, so I'll wait for you.
Yeah, just give me 1 second, all right?
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, so this is the one I'm talking about right here.
All right, where you at?
On the 3rd at 1:08 p.m. Starts with, must have been some confusion. I'll bring him back Sunday 1:05. That's how it starts.
Yeah, okay, so, right, let's see. Yeah, okay, so let's get all the context here. So just going back a couple of messages. Do you have January 3rd at 1:01 p.m.?
Yes, I do.
Okay, great. I say clearly I will not be meeting you at Marina PD on Sunday. And then I say, based on the records I have, the location is not safe for my family.
Mm-hmm.
Marina
yep,
PD
I got that whole message right in front of me right now.
Okay, cool. So, yeah, I'm definitely saying I'm not going to meet at Marina PD. For context. And then moving forward, she says that's what our court orders say. And next week we will be meeting on 1/7 at 5:30 at Marina PD, and that is today.
Yep.
She says if you're not there and planning on keeping Isaiah, I will have no choice but to call the police. I'm not sure what else I can do.
Yep.
So she was saying that we were meeting at 1/7, 5:30 Marina PD.
Yep. And then you responded, must have been some confusion. I'm bringing him on Sunday. 1-5.
Yeah, then I said, must have been some confusion. I'll be bringing him back Sunday, 1-5. I've given you the option to pick a new location. If you don't pick one, I will. You can threaten to call the police all you want. I will not expose my family to any more danger. And if you say you're sending gunmen to my location, I will leave that location. Because gunmen are not welcome at our custody exchanges. I do not bring gunmen, and neither may you. So when you're ready to do this peacefully and honestly, with respect for everyone's rights and safety, let me know. So clearly we've not reached an agreement yet. But I have made what's known as a counter offer. She said 1-7, and I said 1-5. We're still negotiating here. This is the legal language of agreements. Now, moving on to January 3rd at 1:33 p.m., she says, I'm working 1-5 Sunday. Unsure when you communicated that. I will not be there. So you can consent to Mike picking him up. I will not be off until 8 p.m., or we will have to meet Monday morning at Marina PD. So clearly we're still negotiating after that message you were talking about. Is that clear?
Okay.
Okay. So on January 3rd, 1:38, she says you can send Mike to meet at Blaze Pizza. Or no, I said you can send Mike to meet me at Blaze Pizza in Marina on Sunday. She says that's not what's happening, and you know it. Unfortunately, we do not feel safe. So now she's talking about Mike, that 6'4" guy you might have seen.
I actually have not met him.
Yeah, well, he's pretending to be afraid of a 5.5-foot guy, me. Anyways, it's just hilarious, little hilarious side note. And she says that's not what's happening, and you know it. Unfortunately, we do not feel safe anywhere but the PD, and that's what our orders say. I'm not going to keep discussing this. Mike can be at the PD at 5:30, or you can meet me Monday morning at the PD. So still no agreement. Now, January 3rd at 1:56, I said, wow, that's some impressive gaslighting. But actually, that is what's happening, and I know it. Say I have the audio recording of the most recent encounter, and there's no other way to understand it besides a Marina PD officer attempting to start a fight with me 3 times while my son's in the car. After we waited 2 hours in the cold, dark parking lot of the Marina PD while you violated the visitation orders. So I'll skip down through here. I said further proof that you know Marina PD is not safe for me is the video where you tell Marina PD Officer Magana he will sue him for my false arrest. So do you think a department willing to falsely arrest someone is a safe department for that exact person to return to? Tell the truth.
I'm not answering any of these questions. We're talking about what's going on right now. We're not going back and forth about my opinion on what's going on and this and that. We're talking about what's happening right here, right now, right?
That's cute. Are you following along with the messages? Because I wasn't asking you a question. That's part of the message.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were asking me that. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm following along. I got it right in front of me.
Yeah, if you follow along with the messages, you'll know that I was just reading the message.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But
I thought you were asking my opinion. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, man, you're not the one on trial here, so calm down. It says I even asked them for the video so I could verify the assault was as I perceived it, but Marina PD won't give it up. I sent a message to their chief asking for clarification 10 days ago and no response. Do you honestly think I should just show up like a lamb to the slaughter? You're thinking of someone else, not this guy, not going to be your victim anymore. This is all important for context, and I'm definitely not agreeing to meet her.
Okay.
And then she says, now we're at January 3rd, 6 p.m. She says, since you're refusing to bring him on Sunday and I'm working, we are going to have to meet Monday morning. How does 8 a.m. or 11 sound? Again, Marina PD. So definitely no agreements yet. Then I said, I'm not refusing to bring him Sunday. Where did you get such an idea? Read the words.
Mm-hmm.
I'm bringing him Sunday evening to Blaze Pizza in Marina. That's where we will be. Inside the well-lit location where there are witnesses, food, and bathrooms. If you refuse to pick him up, that's your own problem. I'm not returning to Marina PD. I've told you and the chief of Marina Police that this, in no uncertain terms, none of you can force me to bring my family into harm's way. So, what I'm doing here in legal terms is I'm making a counter offer. I'm telling her I will not do the thing that you have asked me to do. However, I will do this other thing. Do we have an agreement? That's a counteroffer. And she does not accept my counteroffer, so we still don't have an agreement, do we? As of January 4th at 8:57 a.m. I know there's a lot. We can backtrack if you need to.
No, yeah, I'm using a small little, my work phone right now to follow along. So.
Yeah, I got you. So, anyways, but you were saying you thought the agreement happened on January 3rd at like, a few messages back, and clearly it didn't.
Well,
so now the legal question is, was there an agreement? So what we need to do is go through these messages and determine whether or not.
You don't need to do anything. Me and you do not need to do anything on that.
Yeah, it's an investigation.
Yeah, and I do the investigation.
And I'm helping you with it. You need the help.
I don't need help with it.
Listen, you need the help because if you tell the Monterey County District Attorney's Office that I violated an order, but you can't point to that order, then you have a problem. And if you tell the Monterey County District Attorney's Office, if you do not report to them that Michelle actually violated the order, which is the crime I'm about to report to you,
okay,
then you have a even bigger problem.
Okay.
So I'm trying to help you out here. Yeah,
so
I'm trying to help myself, but
hang on. You keep over talking me, and I've been letting you talk, right? So once again,
no,
you
don't have to start that, man. Okay, just if you want to talk, go ahead.
Okay. So again, I'm sending all the messages, all of the conversations that me and you have had, and me and Michelle have, for the district attorney's office to review, to see if they see if there's significant evidence to seek prosecution or move forward with some sort of court case.
So you're saying that you're sending them all these conversations that we're having, the audio, and you're sending.
If they request them, yes. And I don't send so how it works is we don't send the video recordings or audio recordings. If they read my report and say, hey, yeah, this is something we're going to move forward with, then they requested all of the photos, the audio, all that good stuff.
But your report says, I saw this, I saw that, and therefore I recommend, forward charges to the district attorney.
Or I recommend this case be forwarded to the district attorney's office for review.
Yeah, so that means you would have to have some sort of, reason to believe that a crime had been committed.
Yep.
So what I'm saying is you don't have an articulable, probable cause, you have nothing. How could you possibly say that I violated an order when the orders don't have me coming there till Tuesday this morning at Marina PD, which I did. Yeah, you would have to find, I'll tell you the answer. You would have to find an agreement that we agreed to that I would do something else. And you can't do that. Friday, you have not done that.
Sunday. Hang on. In the written writing. Most have been confused. I am bringing him Sunday 1-5. Right then and there, you're making a statement that you're going to bring him on Sunday.
Okay. This is why you need help.
Hang on. Let me finish talking. You're talking over me. Let me finish talking.
Okay.
I am working 1-5 Sunday until when you communicated that I will not be there, so you can consent to Mike picking him up. So right then and there, there's a common agreement aspect of the date and who's taking the kid. Right then and there. Right? And
wait, no, please. It's not. It's not. Show me how it is.
I just explained it.
You didn't. Okay. There's nothing in those words where she accepts my offer. Show me where it is. What time are you at? January 3rd, what time?
Hang on, I just lost it. January 3rd at, sorry, give me 1 second.
I'll give you all the seconds you need, brother.
January 3rd, 1:08 p.m. when you say, I'm bringing them on Sunday 1-5, right?
Yeah, can I unilaterally change the orders, or does she have to agree?
Now, hang on. You're saying that you're willing to bring them on Sunday 1-5. in that message.
I'm stating that I will be bringing
Yes.
him.
Yes.
It's a statement.
Yep. And then the very next message, 1:33. I'm working on 1/5 Sunday. Unsure when that was communicated. I will not be there, so you can consent to Mike picking him up.
So she's telling me.
Hang on. I will not be off until 8 p.m. or we will meet Monday, or we will have to meet Monday morning.
Perfect. Where's the agreement? She gave me a bunch of options. Where did she agree to what I offered?
Just like you have. Where did you agree?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. What would you say?
Okay. In order for there to actually be an agreement, someone has to make an offer, and then the other person has to accept.
And then you said
offer.
you can send Mike. That's your next.
You can send Mike to meet at Blaze Pizza in Marina on Sunday. So we're still negotiating on who's doing the pickup. Hey, we're not talking over each other, are we?
Okay.
We're still talking about who's going to do the pickup. We haven't even agreed on if it's going to be Michelle or Mike. I'm still offering an alternate location that she has not agreed to, so we have not. I'm offering Blaze Pizza. I'm offering Blaze Pizza, and I'm asking her to change the order to modify it, and she has not agreed to do that. So we have not agreed upon who will do the pickup. We have not agreed upon where it will be, and we have not agreed upon the day. So do we have an agreement?
You have the day, 1/5.
No, she's given me options. She said she was working on Sunday. So no, I will not. Hang on. You listen to me. Basically what she's saying here, I'm going to decipher this for you. What it means is she says she will not be there on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
And then she's saying, if I want someone to pick him up on Sunday, it's got to be Mike.
And then you said you can send Mike, right? You agreed to that.
Hold on.
You agreed to it. No, you agreed to Mike.
Stop it.
No,
you're not going to. It says right here, on January 3rd, 1:33 p.m. I'm going to read it for you. Please don't interrupt. I am working 1/5 Sunday. Unsure when you communicated that. I will not be there, so you can consent to Mike picking him up. I will not be off until 8 p.m. Or we will have to meet Monday morning at Marina PD. So she has given me even another option. That is called a counter offer in legal terms. So the way that I respond to that is I say, you can send Mike to meet me at Blaze Pizza in Marina on Sunday. So I took her offer and I made her a counter offer.
Yes, but hang on. Your counter offer at Blaze Pizza is irrelevant in the sense that the court order says Marina Police Department.
The entire discussion is about modifying the court order.
No. Okay. All right. Yes, go ahead. Keep going.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Okay, so the next message is January 3rd, 2025 at 1:40 p.m.
We don't have to go over every message. I have them right in front of me. I've read through
You're
them.
having trouble understanding what they say and the
I
legal
guess I'm
relevance
having your,
of the words
I guess it's your interpretation to it, right?
No, it's not. There are legal there are rules to making agreements, and they're not subjective. They're not my opinion. They're not something I made up. Look, dude, I'm not trying to look. I finished the freaking 4 years of law school. Okay, I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to hurt you or something. I'm explaining to you what the law is and how these words work.
Okay.
And I'm doing that to help you because you're about to step in some poo, my brother, and you don't need to do that. Okay?
Okay.
Now, moving forward, I'm going to read through these messages, and you're going to have to bear with me. I will pull out what's relevant.
Okay.
She says she's not going to keep discussing this. Mike can be at the PD at 5:30, or you can meet me Monday morning at PD. So still making counter offers. I have not agreed to anything. I explained to them, again, that Marina PD is not safe. So I have definitely not agreed to Marina PD. You said that's irrelevant, but actually the discussion here is about modifying the orders. So, yeah, it is relevant because we're talking about modifying those court orders. And we have not done that yet. The only way we can modify those orders, according to those orders, is in writing. We have to agree. And we definitely have not agreed yet. You can't point to it. I'm telling you, the DA would laugh at that. Okay? And I don't need that kind of harassment. So moving forward, since you're refusing to bring him on Sunday and I'm working, we are going to have to meet Monday morning.
So we definitely not agreed because she's still asking me to meet Monday. I mean, how could you say we agreed to meet Sunday if she's still asking me to meet Monday? Now, it's January 4th, 8:57 a.m. I told her I'm not refusing to bring him on Sunday. I told him I will be at Blaze Pizza on Sunday. You know, I said, that's where I'll be. And I said, if you refuse to pick him up, that's your own problem. So we definitely don't have an agreement, but I'm just telling her what I'm going to do. And then I talked to, I guess, I don't know, was it you? I talked to somebody, and I said, hey, Marina PD says that if you agree to another location, Blaze, then we can just do the exchange, no problem. They said they'd be there if you called them, whether I like it or not. I'd rather meet there in public with witnesses instead of Marina PD lot where you and their officers can attack me, and you know my position on that. So that's me interjecting that. You still with me?
Yep, still here.
Cool. I'm going to go through here, and I swear, you know, if there's an agreement in here, we're going to find it together, and if we find it, I'll admit it. Per these rules that I'm explaining to you, if you can show me.
Okay.
But if I see it, I'm not going to hide it from you, man. I'm more honest than you guys like. Now, 7:49 p.m., I say I do not agree to another location. She says, I do not agree to another location. For my restraining order and our visitation orders, we meet at Marina PD. Since you were supposed to have Isaiah until Tuesday, so there again, she's making my point that
what day is that on?
We've not agreed to anything else, and I'm not. He's not due back until Tuesday.
What day was that on?
What? She said this on January 4th.
Okay. Just so I can keep following along.
Yeah. She said that on January 4th, and then she says your only other option for Sundays after I'm off work at 8:30 at Marina PD. And then blah blah blah. So she's still giving me options. So we have not reached an agreement. Yeah, I know. I understand. There's those default orders under there. So if we don't reach an agreement, it just defaults to the orders.
Okay.
Now, on January 4th at 8:20 p.m., she says I called Marina PD. Oh no, I explained to her, you know, what happened, how I called. I'm asking Marina PD to document her refusal to follow the visitation orders. And then, you know, that same night was when Polito assaulted me, and that's why I'm not going back to Marina PD. I just want to keep things in context for you. January 5th, 12:49 p.m., she says, okay, I'll be waiting in Marina. That's very vague, right? So the next message, I say, where in Marina will you be waiting? Hopefully not in the location where my family has no rights or safety, Marina PD. Also, and then I tell her some other stuff. It's just about Isaiah's, you know, well-being, not about this. And then she has not responded as of 5:42 on January 5th. Mm-hmm. And that would be Sunday. So I say, hello, where will we do the exchange in Marina? Blaze Pizza. She says, where... She responds and says, where I keep telling you we will meet at the court-ordered location. So we still have not agreed on the location. That's relevant because, and this is me interjecting here, Officer Rose, if I say that I'll meet you Tuesday at noon, but I never tell you where, then have we reached an agreement to meet? No, we have not. We have not.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just tell you the answer. We have not. So moving forward, on January 5th at 8:07 p.m., I say, it's interesting that you keep ignoring my request for safety. And then I explained to her that again. You know, you got to keep liars on track. And so I say, Marina PD is not safe. You can agree to meet somewhere else. We're at Blaze Pizza. It's 100% safer than Marina PD. Back a lot, and they have bathrooms for the kids. We'll see you when you get here. Bye. So I'm just telling her what I'm doing and saying you can come here and pick up your son. Now at 8:20 p.m., I ask her, would you like to message me when you arrive, and I can simply send Isaiah out to your car. There are plenty of spaces right up front. And January 5th, 2025, this is still Sunday, 8:36 p.m. I say, he said he wanted to wait in the car, so we were right out front of Blaze. When will you arrive? Still no agreement from her. And 8:38 p.m., she says, I'm not coming to Blaze. As I've said many times, I've called the Marina PD to file a report and waiting for them to call me back. You can meet me at the PD and safely exchange as we've been doing for nearly 2 years. And, of course, I have not agreed to that. and I have no legal obligation to bring him back until Tuesday because we have made no agreement. No one can sign that agreement. So at 8:40 p.m., I said, actually, no, it's never been safe for me, and recent events have made it more unsafe. I said, you can file all the reports you want, but Isaiah is waiting for his mom to pick him up in a location that even he says feels much safer. Are you refusing to pick him up? I can't wait inside this corrupt jurisdiction much longer. Then January 5th, 9 p.m., she says, David, Isaiah needs to come home. There are not cops at Marina PD. When we exchange, you record everything. You're delusional. And then moving forward, 9:03 p.m., I say, well, 5 Marina PD cars pulled up at Blaze, so I left, just like I told you I would. Now I will never return to that jurisdiction. Are you able to come pick Isaiah up peacefully in public and with witnesses and no armed men? And she says, at 9:06 p.m., she says, no. I will meet you at Marina PD. So that's, anyways, Marina cops didn't even know you were at Blaze Pizza. So I don't believe you. Stop. Do the exchange. It's getting very late. That's weird. How does she know what Marina cops know? Anyways, 9:09 p.m., I said there's no way I'll ever return to Marina. I will piss my own pants before I even stop there. And that ship has sailed. I can meet you in Seaside, Monterey, Castroville, Salinas. Take your pick. And then 9:26 p.m., I say, she still hasn't answered, and I say, Michelle, I've driven 100 miles to peacefully drop off Isaiah with you at a safe location. So clearly she has not agreed. We have definitely not agreed. And I keep telling her, pick a public spot outside. I say, pick a public spot outside Marina by 9:30. If you don't, I guess I'll just have to turn around and drive the 100 miles home. But I'm not driving back. You'll have to come pick him up peacefully in a public location. Still in the negotiating phase here. Clearly no agreement.
I think the agreement, though, at this point, is you're willing to drop the child off on the 5th. She was willing to pick the child up on the 5th. There was agreed upon in the text. It might not be,
I got to go ahead and I know that.
It might not be written
work,
saying we are agreeing it's the 5th, yada yada yada, whatever. She's willing
we never
to
agreed.
pick the child, and you're willing to drop off the child. The uncommon agreement is the location.
Exactly, and in the
but
law of,
I guess what I'm saying is the date is agreed upon.
No,
both parties were willing to drop off pickup.
I understand you want to see it like that, but I have to explain something to you. In the law of contracts, the rules of agreements, okay, you have to have all the essential terms in order to have a complete agreement. Okay, because first you have to know the parties, who's doing the agreeing. Then you have to know the subject matter. What are we agreeing about? Then you have to know the time for performance. When does this have to be done? And you have to know the place for performance. All 4 of those things are necessary, or you don't actually have an agreement. Because if I agree to sell you my car, and we agree that it's me and you in the deal, and we agree that we'll meet at 4:30, but we never say what day. It's impossible to actually, accomplish this agreement. It's not actually an agreement. You have to actually, there's no partial agreements. It's a full package, okay? And in agreements, it doesn't matter what it looks like to other people. It matters what is the intention of the parties making the agreement. And I'm telling you my intention, and I'm telling you the legal logic. So there's no way to get around it. Okay. We did not have an agreement. That's my point. As of 9:32 p.m. on January 5th, we still did not have an agreement. And that was Sunday. And she says, I'm refusing to follow orders. And I say, yawn. I said, well, it's getting late. You refuse to meet in a safe place, so I'm going home. Let me know where you want to pick up in San Jose tomorrow morning. Now, I'm unilaterally, it sounds like I'm unilaterally changing the agreement, but I can't do that. I can't legally do that. So what my words are actually doing is I'm just making her an offer. I'm saying, this is what I'm willing to do. And what I need from her is a response saying, okay, We have not got that yet. Not from me to her, not from her to me. All right, now she says, oh, excuse me, at 9:38 p.m. she says she accused me of kidnapping him, and she says the police will be contacting me. And at 9:39 p.m. I say, I have him legally until Tuesday. So that's important. I say, I have him legally until Tuesday. I drove 100 miles, and now I'm driving 100 more. You refuse to pick him up, and then you threaten me with kidnapping. You and the Marina PD look like ridiculous cartoon bullies. Peace. Now, then I go home. I've not violated any order because there's no agreement. Now, 7:14 a.m. on January 6th. What time will you be picking him up today? I ask her. And then she says at 7:33 a.m., I'm not coming to San Jose. You need to bring him here. I will meet you in a public place. Okay? So now she's opened up the possibility of meeting in a public place, but still no agreement. You know, I'm not going to say, oh, look, she said I'll meet you in a public place. I got her. She agreed. No, she didn't. It's not how it works. January 6th, 7:39 a.m., I explained that I drove 100 miles to bring him. He refused to pick him up, so I drove 100 home. I have to work in San Jose, so that's as far south as I'm coming. I'll never enter Marina PD's jurisdiction again of my own free will. So it's pretty clear that I've definitely not agreed to that. And then January 6th, 8:03 a.m., she says, you are violating the court orders, refusing to drop off at the location we are ordered to be. You're refusing again today. I'll be seeking criminal charges, blah, blah, blah. 8:12 a.m., I say yawn. Again, I say that. I say, okay, that's your dishonest, paranoid version of reality. You refuse to pick him up at a safe place. And then later on in this message, I offer, I say, you may pick him up today at any safe public meeting place in San Jose. You may not bring guns. You have always been safe. I have never been safe. Anyways, this is after you and I had a conversation, so, you know, and I have that recorded, so you gotta stick to what you said in that conversation. And, this is where we were trying to come up with a different, oh, no, I hadn't talked to you at that point. Sorry, yeah, see, I was wrong. I just said something wrong. I had not talked to you at that point. So anyways, 8:17 a.m., she tries to pull your move on me. Oh, and look, she mentions your name. That's interesting. 8:17 a.m., she says, the second we made an agreement to meet yesterday and change the drop-off date, that becomes the binding agreement, which you insisted. You broke the original agreement. The court orders don't say you have him until January 7th. I'm really worried about what all this is doing to my son emotionally. You're not being logical or rational. Did you speak to Officer Rose? Okay, so now I know where she got that idea. But but you're wrong, and neither one of you could show any agreement so far. So 8:24 a.m., I say I never agreed to meet at Marina PD. So there goes your wild theory about a binding agreement. If it was binding, why did you refuse to pick him up? I said I don't have to talk to any officer. And moving forward, 8:38 a.m., she asks me, now this is important, so I know you might have kind of spaced out, but if I could bring your attention back.
No, I'm still here. I'm just bringing all along with you.
Yeah, okay, I appreciate it. So 8:38 a.m., Michelle Baig says, okay, this is January 6th. That's Monday, January 6th, 8:38 a.m. Michelle Baig says, will you meet me in Morgan Hill off Cochran Road? Now that's important because that is an offer.
Yep, she's offering to meet you halfway or whatever.
Right, and I say, well, that's not San Jose, is it? But if you promise we are safe there, that you are not bringing any gunmen to the exchange or anything else threatening harm, then I will consider it. So I've definitely not agreed yet.
Okay.
Michelle Baig, January 6, 10:05 a.m. says, we can meet in the shopping center by Starbucks. There's a long sidewalk there where Isaiah can walk to my car, and I won't even get out of my car. What time? So now we're getting somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
At 10:06 a.m. on January 6th, I say, great. and is this an ambush? Will you be having me swarmed by gunmen as soon as Isaiah's in your car? I'm not walking into anything like that. And at 10:12 a.m., she says, nope, it would just be me and Mike. I would not do that to my son. It was kind of funny because she did that this morning. But anyways, moving forward, at 10:20 a.m., I say, well, you've been doing it to your son for several years, so how can I believe this statement? He has nightmares about it. You're still threatening me with false charges of kidnapping. I'm going to need you to go ahead and call Officer Rose, explain that you misinterpreted the situation, as you often do, and that based on my legitimate safety concerns, you have agreed to an alternate meeting point. He can then call me and explain that based on your statement, see above, he's concluding his investigation with the determination that no wrongdoing has occurred. He can just leave me a voicemail as I'll be busy getting ready. Once I hear the message, I'll know that you're no longer threatening me with harm. It's not a debate. These are my terms. So that's, terms, my counter offer terms. This is what I need in order to feel safe and to reasonably believe my family is safe. So 10:22 a.m., she says, what time will you meet me in Morgan Hill? You need to give me back Isaiah. He needs to come home. I agreed to meet you somewhere else with no cops. Do not make any other demands on me? What time? So she's not agreeing to that. She is rejecting my offer, which was actually a counter offer, and she's making her own counter offer. At 10:38 a.m., she says, if you drop him off with me, it's clearly not kidnapping. You've already said and told multiple people in the office that you will not follow the court orders and come to Marina, so there's nothing I can do about your position. What time are we meeting? So she's hedging a little bit, And at 10:39 a.m., I said I will not budge from these terms. At 11:01 a.m., she said, if I've already offered to drop him off with you and drove 100 miles to do that, I said, if I've already offered to drop him off with you and drove 100 miles to do that, then it's obviously not kidnapping. I'm still trying to arrange this exchange with you. We are going to eat some lunch. Let me know when you want to meet without threats. 11:10 a.m. She says, I've already told you I would meet you in Morgan Hill. 1 p.m. works for me, Starbucks off Cochran Road in the shopping center. And I said, I already told you what safety looks like in the current situation. So I have not agreed. She's offering pretty clearly, but I have not agreed. And moving forward, at 1:55 p.m., she had not responded to my response to her message. Excuse me. She had not responded yet. So I said, hey, what's up? It's getting late. Can I drop off Isaiah with you or what? And she has not responded, so her offer is still out there. She's not revoked her offer. Now, at 2:03 p.m., I said, you didn't do the stuff, so I'm still under your threat, but I'm still trying to get Isaiah to you. Would you please confirm your location? Right? And then,
hang on, just to let you know, this is where things start tailing off for me. So I can't follow along. So I'm just
okay. Thank you for telling me that because this is actually we actually reached the relevant part right now. Okay, so at 2:34 p.m. I said, well, now I haven't heard from you since 11:10, and it's 2:30, and I'm trying to drop off at the location you requested. Will you be picking Isaiah up or not? So what I'm telling her.
And this is on the 6th, right?
Yeah, Monday the 6th. Yeah, 2:34 p.m. I'm telling her that I am at the location she requested. Mm-hmm. Okay, so what I have done is I have accepted her offer by showing up, and then I told her I'm here. So legally, the effect of these words is I accept your offer to meet in Morgan Hill. I am in Morgan Hill.
Okay.
And I'm asking, and she's not in Morgan Hill, so I'm asking her, can you confirm your location? Because she said she would be there, and she's not there.
Okay.
So you see, what happened here is legally significant because going back a few messages, starting at about 10:20 or like 10:12. It goes back a ways. Okay, starting at 8:38 a.m., she clearly says, will you meet me at Morgan Hill off Cochran Road?
Yeah.
At that point, we start in our serious negotiations and actually make a deal.
Yeah, can you read the last message she sent to you?
Yeah,
For me?
I will do that. Let me find that.
And I mean before that, like, agreed upon drop-off time, I guess, is the time frame I'm looking for.
Right, let me see. She said, from David. Yeah, okay, so the last one she sent me was at 11:10 a.m.
Okay.
She says, I already told you I would meet in Morgan Hill. 1 p.m. works for me. Starbucks off Cochran Road in the shopping center.
And then what was your response to that?
I said, I already told you what safety looks like in the current situation.
Okay. And then that's when you continue responding, but she's no longer responding, right?
Yeah. So as you know, as far as I know, the last thing she said is, I will meet you in Morgan Hill, at 1 p.m.
Okay.
I kept asking her, like, okay, but, what's up? Like, are you, like, I'm like, can I drop him off with you or what? Like, I hadn't heard back.
Okay.
And we were already down there. It's 1:55. We'd been down there for a bit, and, like, she's not there. Right. So, I get it, maybe she was waiting to hear me confirm, right?
Maybe.
So that's why she wasn't there. But she lives, 45 minutes away. So basically I'm saying, like, look, I accepted your offer. We're in Morgan Hill. Like, are you here? Are you coming? What's up?
Can you go back to whatever those that might be not the right word, but the stuff you were saying about something to the effect of call Officer Rose and not change your story, but something to that effect? Because I don't have those messages. Can you read that one for me?
Yeah, let me find that. She had been threatening me and telling me that she was accusing me of kidnapping.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I said, I need you to go ahead and call Officer Rose. This is 10:20 a.m., January 6th. I said, I need you to call Officer Rose, explain that you misrepresented the situation, as you often do, and that based on my legitimate safety concerns, you have agreed to an alternate meeting point. He can then call me and explain that based on your statement, he is concluding his investigation with the determination that no wrongdoing has occurred. So I'm saying, like, you accuse me of kidnapping. Go ahead and tell him that we've arranged to meet up, so it's not kidnapping.
Tell me you kidnapped anybody. You know what I mean?
Sorry?
You never said anything to me along those lines of kidnapping or withholding the children or anything along those lines. So that's
that's weird. That's weird, right? Because you definitely see her threatening me with it in these messages, right?
I mean, I guess my whole thing is the aspect of, like, if she's trying to report a crime, because we've already spoken at this point, me and you.
Mm-hmm. No, not in this conversation. We had not.
Me and you, didn't we talk? When's the first time we talked? Sunday night or Monday? No, we speak on Sunday night?
I don't think so.
Or did we speak Monday? I'm trying to figure out exactly when we spoke.
Excuse me. I believe we spoke on Monday, but it was, I think we were, no, okay, I know what it was. I had already been to Morgan Hill at that point. Because Commander Russo called me while I was waiting there in that parking lot, and then I talked to you after that.
Gotcha. Because I came in at 3, and then we spoke later. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So we had not spoken yet at that point.
Okay. So that's why I'm just trying to piece it all together right now.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyways, she's making this offer to meet in Morgan Hill. I say, like, well, I'm not really comfortable with that because you've accused me of kidnapping. So can you please call off that, alert, and then I'll be safe. She doesn't answer, and then I'm like, all right, what's up? Like, can I drop Isaiah off with you? We are at the location you requested. We are in Morgan Hill. Are you coming?
Uh-huh.
So this, legally speaking, and the district attorney is going to understand this, now we've actually made an agreement because Michelle offered to meet in Morgan Hill.
Yeah.
And I agreed. And then let's go to 2:39 p.m. when on January 6th, which is Monday, when Michelle Begg says, I'm not going to drive all the way to Morgan Hill for you to tell me that I have not performed your terms and refuse to give me my son.
Okay.
So,
meaning, I'm assuming she's meaning something of the effect of calling and like recanting her statement or something like that, right? Is that kind of what she's referring?
She is very clearly stating she will not be coming to Morgan Hill.
No, I know, but that second half of that, because I didn't follow you.
She's afraid that I'm going to tell her, like, I didn't perform, like, I didn't, like, because she didn't call off the kidnapping alert, and that she thinks I'll refuse to give Isaiah to her. I mean, I don't even know, that doesn't make much sense, but that's what she's saying.
Okay.
All right. But the thing is that we already made the agreement in writing.
Okay.
And that modifies the court orders, and that becomes the new court order. So the new court order now, actually at 2:39 p.m., was for us to meet to do the exchange in Morgan Hill around 1 p.m. at the Starbucks. And then she is, at 2:39 p.m., she is explicitly refusing to follow the modified court order.
Okay, so are you saying that she's in violation of the court order because she didn't call me, recant her statement on what she felt?
No, stop. That's not what I'm saying. Please start over.
No, I'm asking clarifying questions, right?
Well, I'm telling you that what you were asking me is false. So no, please attempt a different interpretation of what I'm saying.
As a law enforcement officer, this is what I'm hearing right now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing that you guys made an agreed upon time in Morgan Hill to do a pickup drop off yesterday at X time.
Yes.
In order for her to do that, you wanted her to call me, change her statement about whatever you felt was wrong or whatever she felt was wrong.
No.
That's what you specifically wrote in the message, is you need to get in contact and clarify whatever you said. But so that's what I'm hearing right now.
Okay, let me fill in the blank for you there, my friend. She says, okay, at 2:03 p.m. I say you didn't do the stuff, and so I'm still under your threat. I'm addressing that, okay? But what do I say next? Are you looking at this message?
No, is dissuading a witness, right?
Are you looking at this message? 2:03 p.m.
I don't have these ones.
Oh wow, she didn't send you all the messages. That's deceptive.
I think maybe the supervisor got them. But mine end on the 5th.
That's crazy. You know, Supervisor Johnson this morning told me that supervisors don't take reports. But anyways, at 2:03 p.m., I said you didn't do the stuff, so I'm still under threat. But I'm still trying to get Isaiah to you.
Mm-hmm.
Would you please confirm your location? Okay. So I am taking that term, and I'm throwing it away. I'm saying you didn't do it. You're still threatening me, but I'm still trying to get Isaiah to you. So where are you? Are you in Morgan Hill? What's up?
Like I hear that coming.
Thank you, because that's definitely what I clearly wrote and what I said, and I will give you these messages because I wouldn't want you to
email them to me or message them to me or whatever is easiest for you.
Yeah, well, because what I'm doing now is I'm reporting a crime.
Okay, what crime are you reporting? That
I am
you violated the order for not showing up in Morgan Hill?
Yes, I'm saying that we modified this order in writing very clearly, and that she then violated it, and we even have in writing where she refuses to do it.
Okay. So
2:39 p.m.
So there's a couple different things. 100%, if you want to file, if you feel like this order has been violated, that is your right to do so. The only issue at hand is you're now out of Monterey County jurisdictional lines because you're in Morgan Hill. So basically where crimes occur is where district attorneys prosecute the crimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So on that aspect of things, I don't know if Morgan Hill has a police department or where that jurisdictional lines is, but that's where you would have to report the crime to because that's where it occurred. if that makes sense.
That's absurd, but yeah, it does make sense.
But I mean, if my DA reads that a violation of a court order was violated in Nevada, hypothetically, you're not going to go to Nevada to prosecute somebody, right?
Yeah.
I know that's
but
the
here's the
extreme.
I get it, but here's the thing. The violation of the court order did not occur in Morgan Hill.
That's
it
where
occurred.
agreed upon location pickup is.
No,
right?
It actually occurred right in your jurisdiction in Marina.
How so?
Okay, well, because the person committing the violation was in Marina.
Okay.
So she was not committing any sort of violation in Morgan Hill. She wasn't even in Morgan Hill. She was in Marina.
Okay.
Okay? So it would be, I mean, it doesn't make much sense to say that Michelle Baig was committing a violation in Morgan Hill. Morgan Hill's going to be like, no, she wasn't. She was in Marina. That's what the text message says.
Okay.
So I'd like to report that crime, and I would like you to either add it to this report or you could just do a fresh report. I don't care.
Okay. It will be added to this report.
Fantastic. So, you haven't been able to show me any agreement that was made. Other than this one, I don't know if you are going to acknowledge that this is an agreement. But
this
there
is,
was,
if you guys agreed upon the date, I don't have the messages in front of me, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So once you send those to me, I'll review them and go over them, and I just can't take your word for it, right? You could be reading something that.
Yeah, I get it.
You get what I'm saying? So
yeah, you definitely want to not just take people's word for it.
Absolutely. So once I get those from you, I'll review them, and if they're written the same way you're reading them to me, I don't see why not. Again, I don't know if the district attorneys will file on the aspect that the agreed upon drop-off pickup location type issue was in Morgan Hill or not, but again, that's up for them to decide. I don't make that determination.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna kind of make a big deal out of it.
Okay.
So you're gonna want to really, in your report, you're gonna want to use the precise language and logic that I gave you. Otherwise,
do my job, sir. Like
yeah, no, I definitely do. Your entire department needs lessons, and I'm happy to give them for free.
Okay.
Now moving forward, she says I'm not going to drive all the way to Morgan Hill. And then she says she's waiting for directions from her lawyer and the authorities, and I assume that's you guys. So you're actually, what's funny is you're actually part of this crime. You're co-conspirators. But then on January 6th at 2:41, I say, Isaiah's fine. We are at the location you requested. So again, I'm telling her that, we're there. We showed up. And let's see, moving forward, I tell her, well, I got to go to work. And I tell her, and it's 2:53 p.m. We're in Morgan Hill still on Monday, and I say, the map says it's 45 minutes. You should already be on the road. So I'm still waiting there for her, and I'm still giving her a chance, like I'm still giving you guys a chance. Now, January 6th, 3:41 p.m., she says that under the direction of her lawyer, she's not coming. So that's funny. So her lawyer also aiding and abetting crime. And January 6th, 3:47 p.m., I say, you had me drive down to Morgan Hill and wait for hours to drop them off at the location you requested. You don't need to hear this, whatever. Then at 3:52 p.m. on January 6th, she says, I'm sure you have Officer Rose's phone number. You should give him a call. So now, we know where she's getting her ideas from now, and we have not spoken yet. At 3:52 p.m., January 6th, Monday, I say, yeah, I'm doing that right now. So that's when I called you.
Okay.
At 5:34 p.m., she says, where would you like to meet tomorrow in Marina? If you feel safe at Blaze Pizza or Starbucks, I can meet you there. She's made an offer now at this point on Monday to meet in Marina at Blaze Pizza or Starbucks, and she's even acknowledged my request for safety. We're really making some progress here. Then you and I had our nice conversation, which I have recorded, and you were mediating a new meetup time between us. I agreed to meet, I believe it was Starbucks in Marina at the Dunes at 9 a.m.
Yep.
You thanked me for my honesty and cooperation. I thanked you as well. And I said, okay, I said, but and this is recorded, I said, she has to, respond and make this agreement in writing, otherwise we haven't modified the orders. And you agreed to that, and you agreed that you understood that. So I know that you understand that, actual writing of offer and acceptance is required to modify the orders. I know you understand that, because you recorded saying that. And then at 11:59 p.m. on Monday, I had not heard from her, because you said you were going to talk to her and then tell her to message me, but she didn't. So by midnight, I sent her the message. I talked to Officer Rose. I agreed to drive the 100 miles back and meet at Starbucks at Dunes at 9 a.m. Did you also agree to this? And she never responded. So on January 7th, that's today, at 7:09 a.m., I said, well, you never confirmed this, so it's not a legal modification of the orders. And then I said, I'm not driving 100 miles just so you can refuse to pick up your son again. I say, we do, however, have clear record of a written modification to the orders that we would be meeting in Morgan Hill yesterday, which you openly violated in writing right here in this thread. So now what's going to happen is I'm going to meet you at Marina PD this morning. We'll be there when traffic permits, maybe around 9 a.m., could be a bit later. I'm going to take my chances because the sun will be shining. So maybe Marina PD can behave themselves. Side note, they didn't. This is the day we agreed for drop-off, in writing, with no agreements, subsequently, other than the one you broke, to meet in Morgan Hill. Therefore, legally, I have not violated any order, and I will be bringing him to you at Marina PD this morning. Then at 7:59 a.m., I said, ETA 9:40 a.m., I do not control traffic. And Michelle Baig at 8:34 a.m. on today, January 7th, Tuesday, she said, okay. That is an agreement.
Okay.
Now, what is she agreeing to? Is she agreeing that she violated the orders? I don't think that's what she meant linguistically. I think when she said okay, and this is just my interpretation, of course, I think that she was saying, okay, I'll meet you at 9:40 a.m. at Marina PD. And that is what we did. And I have it recorded on video. So what we did here is we modified the orders, because the orders said that we had to meet at 5:30 on Tuesday at Marina PD. But we changed that to 9:40 a.m. on Tuesday at Marina PD in writing.
Yep.
And then I followed the orders. So all you have is a record of me following the orders and requesting a safer location, which she denied the entire time. So eventually I just said, okay, I give up. I'll walk back into an ambush at Marina PD just to give you our son peacefully. And then I did that, and your punk thug mercenary officers still stood around there trying to threaten me and stand between, so I had to let go of my son's hand and let him walk a gauntlet of armed police officers. And that's how that happened. Okay? So you have no record of me ever breaking any order. You don't have the order. You don't have an agreement you don't have an agreement that changes the order. There are only two agreements in this entire conversation,
and that is 1, to meet in Morgan Hill, which she broke, and 2, to meet at 9:40 a.m. Tuesday morning at Marina PD, and I obeyed that order, and I got the video.
Okay. If that's how you feel, absolutely.
These are not my feelings, man. These are facts. Is a video feelings?
What was that? I didn't hear that last part.
I said these are not feelings. These are facts. Is a video feelings? I said I could show you a video of me dropping him off at 9:40 a.m. at Marina PD, and you said if that's how you feel. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm saying that you feel that you did not violate any order whatsoever. You didn't do anything wrong.
I just told you factually how you. I mean, logically, you cannot even tell me how I did violate an order. Go ahead, explain it. I know it's not your feelings. We're talking facts and logic here.
Yeah, and you continue to talk over me and don't agree with what I see in it. So that's why I'm letting the district attorney decide. If the district attorney feels that you violated the order, they feel that. If the district attorney feels that she violated the order, that's up to them, right?
So what are you? Whatever, dude. Well, what are you saying to the district attorney? What is your theory of what happened here?
I recommend the last sentence in my report is I'm going to be sending. Hang on. I recommend this case be sent to the district attorney's office for review of violation of a court order. But that is now both parties, because you're saying she violated the order. So, yeah. And she's saying you violated the order, right?
Okay, yeah, but you are an adult who can read and is presumably honest. So, what are you recommending?
What do you mean? What am I recommending? I'm recommending it be sent to the district attorney. I said it should go into the DA's office for them to review my report to see if there's significant evidence for either party to be charged with a crime.
Okay, that's okay. Well, I mean that's nice. You realize I'll never see the rest of this report.
What do you mean?
Well, they'll never your Marina PD denies every request for public records across the board, and I've got multiple police reports with you, and you've never given me a single one. So my point is, and I'm not whatever. That's aside. We need to talk about whether that's right or wrong. The point is that I'm never going to see what you write in your report.
Okay. I mean, I doubt that. Hang on 1 second, okay? I'm getting dispatched or something. I'm not hanging up on you. Just put you on a quick one.
Go ahead.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. So, basically my theory is that, your department is maliciously biased against me, and your actions have actually hurt me significantly over the past few years, and a lot of it's probably civil rights violations. But my theory here is that you guys are just gonna go to the DA and say David Norman is violating court orders, and he says Michelle's violating court orders. That's what you're gonna say, instead of saying the facts, as Mr. Norman patiently went through with me with a fine-tooth comb, indicate clearly that he's not in violation of any order, and that Michelle Begg is in violation of the order. So I'm sorry, again, my theory is that you guys are maliciously biased, and you're just going to continue lying to try to aid and abet the crimes of Michelle Begg.
I have no intentions of lying whatsoever. How I do my job is you have your side of the story. She has her side of the story. I look at the messages. I look at the actual court order, what it specifically states and says, the rules and stipulations and all that good stuff. And I make a determination, right? At the end of the day, the only thing according to the court order that says, from what I'm reading, and if you see something else, you please point it out to me, that can be modified in the court order is on the vacation aspect of things, right? So if you're at the vacation category of the court order.
Oh, no, I don't think that's a legitimate interpretation of that order.
Okay. Well, I'm just reading it directly that, that That's just what it's saying in the aspect of all vacation time shall be taken during the time period the time of parent has custody of Isaiah.
Mm-hmm.
If the week is insufficient or more time is needed, both parties shall agree in writing and make changes to the schedule as necessary. That is the only thing that I'm reading that says there's anything really in writing that can be changed, is the time with Isaiah.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, it's been part of the orders for years that the orders can be modified in writing by agreement of the parties. I'm pretty sure if you read every word of those orders, you're gonna find it.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not looking at it. But that's been the orders. That's been the order for years, and I mean that's standard. You can't you can't tell people that they can't modify the orders. Like if we needed to change the time. Like if Michelle was like, I cut my leg off, sorry, I can't be there, I'll be 2 hours late, and I say, okay, we've just modified the orders.
Yeah, for the time and pickup and all, like the time frame.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so we can modify those things.
You can modify the times, absolutely. I'm not seeing anything that would be a violation on like the pickup aspect of things. That's what I'm trying to read in detail about.
Okay, yeah, but I'm saying that is a lost cause, man, because why are so you're like trying to find an interpretation of the order where it doesn't let us change the pickup location. Why are you looking for that? Are you maliciously biased against me? Because that's a ridiculous thing to be looking for.
If there's something in there that says that you guys agree on a different location and both parties have their own side of things, right? So as of right now, the only thing I'm seeing is the time frame. And so when you're saying, for example, when you're saying that nothing was done, you didn't agree upon anything, at some point you guys agreed that on the 5th Isaiah would be picked up. You were saying, I'm bringing him to Marina at Blaze on the 5th. She's saying, okay, I'm going to send, I forget the gentleman's name, to go pick him up. And then at some point she said, you know what, I'm just going to be in Marina to pick him up, but at the Marina Police Department, where the pickup location is written in the order.
Yeah, you definitely see her negotiating on the location, right? She says Morgan Hill. She says, okay, so obviously in the minds of both parties, we think that we can negotiate on the location, not just time.
Okay.
Obviously. And here's the thing too, man. It's like I'm trying to help you out. In our conversation, you told me that we could pick a different location. I don't know if you want to dig your heels in on that one.
I said I can be the mediator and try to help you guys solve a problem.
No,
I never said you guys on your own can go pick a different location and agree and do all that. So I said I will be a mediator to solve the problem last night.
Well, that's one thing you said, man. But that's not all you said. You're forgetting I have it recorded.
And so do I. And I'm not trying to lie to you or backtrack or anything. I'm just saying,
you're trying pretty hard to wiggle around this thing, man, and you need to just give it up. Because you know that I didn't do anything wrong.
Like I said, I've already said I'm willing to add the charges on your end for you. What else are we here to do?
Well, I need you to explain to me how logically, what order it is that you think I broke.
On the 5th, like I have now 3 or 4 times.
You have not explained anything.
On the 5th, you guys agreed to have Isaiah picked up. You guys agreed.
We didn't agree on a location.
He would be picked up. Whether the location was agreed upon or not, on the 5th, he was to be picked up.
I'm clearly in those messages the entire time saying I will not bring him to Marina PD. Okay. So what you're telling me is that you believe that actually I agreed to bring him on Sunday to Marina PD.
No, I'm saying you agreed to bring him to Marina on Sunday to Blaze Pizza like you did, and have him picked up on Sunday. She said
I offered offered that as a modification. Did she agree to it?
Yes, because she was sending an alternate person to pick him up. So she agreed to it. Okay. I mean, we're going to go back and forth.
No, when did she send an alternate person to pick him up? What are you talking about?
That's what she agreed to. She said, I'm going to send, what was his name? I forget the individual's name.
Mike. She said, you can consent to Mike. If I tell you, hey, Officer Rose, you can consent to give me the keys to your car.
And I say, I do not consent to that.
Yeah. Did I ever consent to it?
Did you ever not consent to it?
Are you stupid? That's not how language works.
Okay, so if you're gonna call me stupid, this is where the conversation ends. It's
a question. I mean, it's a serious question. You seriously need to ask yourself, man. Because if you're gonna be a liar, you gotta be smarter than that.
Okay. I'm gonna be adding your charges like you were requesting. And it's forwarded to the district attorney's office for them to review.
Cool.
All right.
I'm gonna be publishing our conversation for the public to review.
Okay.
I mean, you sound like a dumbass who's maliciously biased.
All right. You have a good rest of your night. Bye-bye.
Yeah, you too. Okay, Officer Rose, are you there?
Yeah, what can I do for you, sir?
Oh, okay. Well, remember when we were having our conversation, I listened to it, and you said that you wanted me to send you the rest of the messages so that you could verify that what I was saying was true or false, because you didn't want to...
Oh, yeah. Can you email me those?
Okay, can you give me your email address, please?
Yeah. Let me know when you're ready.
Great. All right, I'm ready. Go ahead.
It is G as in George.
Mm-hmm.
ROSE at cityofmarina.org.
Okay, that's G is in George, R is in Romeo, O is in Oscar, S is in Sierra, E is in Echo.
Yes.
At City of Marina, that's all one word flowing together.
Yes.
.org.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. I'm going to send you the full message thread, and I'll go ahead and send I'll go ahead and send a copy of our conversations too, because I think those are evidence as well.
Sounds good.
All right. Have a great night.
And then, did you want your case number?
Well, I mean, it doesn't mean anything because they're not going to give me the report. But go ahead.
25.
Yeah.
Dash 0030.
25 dash 0030.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. All right. Thanks again.
Not a problem. Good rest of your day.
Officer Gabriel Rose of the Marina Police Department, Marina, California, forwarded 2 charges to Monterey County District Attorney. They accepted one of them. They accepted that I was, what do they call it? I was like willfully violating a criminal protective order, which is strange because there was no criminal protective order. But they rejected the witness intimidation theory that Gabriel Rose had, because it was a stupid theory. But anyways, so now I have to deal with this nonsense while I'm also trying to see my son. And that's what this is. The whole thing is a collateral attack in order to distract me from being able to pursue the contempt motion in family court and to get the family court to somehow persuade my ex-wife to follow their orders and allow phone contact between my son and I. We haven't had a single phone call since May 2025, and it is January 2026 now. And since January of 2025, we've only seen him, my other son and I, we've only been allowed to see my youngest son for about a total of 24 hours since January 2025. So that's all year, pretty much, 24 hours of contact. And again, this is based on Michelle's claims that, I was the one trying to start a fight with these police officers when I came and just asked them to document her refusal to follow the court's custody orders. And again, it all seems to turn on the Marina PD's ability to understand the English language. They don't seem to understand the concept of consent, that both sides have to consent in order for there to be an agreement. I have legitimate safety concerns taking my family to the Marina PD parking lot at night, especially when if I report an assault, they destroy the record of it when it's under CPRA request. And I've told them explicitly that it would be evidence and that I needed it in family court. So Marina PD refused to give me anything. And it wasn't until I was criminally charged that I realized I could subpoena this evidence through this case. And since it is relevant, I mean, it is the reason why I don't want to meet at Marina PD. It is what makes all of this actually reasonable, and I have every right to, say what I'm saying, that I don't want to meet at Marina PD. But that doesn't really matter if we realize that we never reached an agreement to change the date or meet anywhere else, and we ended up meeting at Marina PD. So I haven't even violated that yet. All I'm doing is saying that I don't want to meet there, and they are charging me with crimes, basically just for saying that. So what I realize is that now that they're doing that, they've just pushed it to absolute absurdity. It's a criminal case, so I can subpoena that evidence. So I did the subpoena all by myself. It was my first one. So I had it served on the custodian of records at the Marina Police Department, and also on Marina City, City of Marina. I subpoenaed the video footage and the report from November 15th, when I claim that the Marina PD officers assaulted me in the presence of my then 9-year-old son. See, I'm asking for the parking lot security camera, and I know that we can get those things because we got the one from the Seaside parking lot back when Michelle Baig falsely claimed that I tried to hit her with my car. And I'll just mention here that the Monterey County Family Court refused. They refused to review that video. So the way that Michelle Baig got the protective order in the first place that is at issue in this entire case is by claiming that I tried to hit her with my car. And then I had the video of it, and the family court even refused to look at the video. Okay, so that is what we're dealing with here. But anyways, so here is Marina PD's response to the subpoena for the evidence. And remember, this was the subject of my California Public Records Act request back in around the beginning of 2025. Okay, so this is the declaration of Maria Esparza. I, Maria Esparza, declare as follows. I am the records supervisor for the City of Marina Police Department, and in that capacity, I, custodian of records. Okay. I make this declaration in response to a subpoena ducis tecum. Judicial Council Form, CR 125 JV 525, served on or about November 7th, 2025, in the above referenced criminal matter. The subpoena requests report and any supplements for this case number, incident date November 15th, 2024, including officer narratives attached, photos, diagrams, and evidence lists. And also, police department security camera recordings for November 15th, should be 2024, capturing David E. Norman and responding Marina PD officers from all cameras, angles covering the areas where the interactions occurred. Also, any in-car MVAS recordings associated with the same incident and officers, if available. And then it says here, upon receipt of the subpoena, I conducted a thorough search of all relevant storage systems and repositories where such reports, recordings, if they existed, would reasonably be maintained. And as he says, enclosed with this declaration are the following, the police report, and that's all. It's just the one thing. And then she continues, upon review of the department's files for in-car MVAS recordings from November 15th, 2024, no in-car MVAS responsive to your request exists. The department did not have in-car video equipment at that time. Wow, hold on. The department did not have in-car video equipment at that time. They're claiming that the Marina Police Department did not have in-car video equipment in November 2024. Maria Esparza is claiming that. Is it true? We'll look into it. At the time of the incident, November 2024, the Marina Police Department's fixed exterior and parking lot cameras were configured to retain footage consistent with the city's records retention policy, requiring that non-evidentiary, routine, uneventful footage be retained for at least 60 days, after which data is automatically overwritten in the normal course of business. The search confirmed that no video recordings from November 15th, 2024 remain in the possession, custody, or control of the City of Marina or its police department. That's pretty significant. Let's read it again. The search confirmed that no video recordings from November 15th, 2024 remain in the possession, custody, or control of the City of Marina or its police department. The security camera recordings requested in the subpoena were automatically overwritten pursuant to the department's established retention practices long before the subpoena was issued or served. So that's, it was kept for 60 days and they didn't have to keep it any longer than that, so they probably deleted it. Now let's notice something. This is interesting. Maria Esparza signed this on when? November 14th, 2025. That is to the day, a year later, from when the incident occurred. I also want to mention that I had a conversation directly with the mayor of Marina, and I told him the significance of his department withholding this. And that conversation occurred at the beginning of 2025. And I also had a conversation with one of the Marina City Council members about it as well. So, I mean, these guys are, they were on notice of the significance of this evidence, and yet they went ahead and deleted it. It's interesting, huh? It was automatically overwritten probably around 60 days after it was recorded, so that would have been, November 15th to December 15th to January 15th. But that's interesting because that's exactly the time period under which those records were the subject of a CPRA request. So they knew that this was not routine or uneventful, and I told them it was evidentiary, and they still deleted it. Wow. City of Marina, Marina Police Department. So based on the search and the department's standard video retention schedule, I declare that the City of Marina Police Department is not in possession of, nor able to produce, the security camera recordings responsive to the subpoena dated November 6th, 2025. I declare under penalty of perjury under the laws of the state of California that the foregoing is true and correct. Maria Esparza, record supervisor. Well, I mean, it may be true and correct. I don't have any reason to believe that she's lying. I believe that they knew that this was evidence and they intentionally deleted it. I don't know, what do you call that? Is that obstruction of justice, or what would you call that? Okay, and I just want to bring it to everyone's attention that I have a contempt motion going in the Monterey County Family Court, and we're providing evidence of at least 100 counts of contempt of the court's orders by Michelle Baig. And each one of those, we can ask for jail time. But I decided not to ask for jail time for any of them. And why? Because even though what this woman is doing is abusive to our son, that's the mother of my son, and he needs his mom, and I know that. Meanwhile, on the other hand, we have all this nonsense going, this attack coming from her and actually through the local government. And they're trying to put me in the cage for it. I mean, not only that, but the effect of this has just been financially devastating. You know, they're not going to stop there. They're just going to keep trying to tear me down. And I have to live with that. You know, it takes an emotional toll on a person. I mean, this is real harassment by the government. It's real abuse by the government. And yeah, I'm a man, so, you know, nobody cares. And I can put up with a lot of abuse. But my children should not have to. So you have to knock it off. You have to stop all of this nonsense. You have to cease from attacking my family entirely. Okay, you have to respect our rights. You have to give me back my son. You have to hold the guilty parties in contempt, if not charged criminally. And, you know, there's some damages. There's some monetary damages involved here as well. And we'll accept an apology. We'll accept a public apology as well. I mean, otherwise, I see this as a declaration of war. That's how I see it. And you're on notice of that.